Welcome back, everybody, to the Gears Fall Major. $120,000 on the line here. I'm Fallout, joined alongside Jay Ribs and Ryan Fools themselves, former Gears legends, still Gears legends, as we're getting ready to cast over a couple of other Gears legends. It's the Pittsburgh Knights going up live against Rise in our winners bracket semifinal. Ribs, your first thoughts?
I'm just happy to be here. First semifinals of the day. We always talk about how important these matches are. The implications are so important if you want to win a championship. Both of these teams definitely trying to get to that grand finals. First, they have to win this to get to winners finals. And yeah, this is going to be a slugfest. I mean, you look at Rise, perfect in day one. PK, not so much, but they're both here, and it's a clean slate until now.
Yeah. And Ryan, how about you? Any initial thoughts here?
Just excited to see it, man. These two teams obviously already played each other in pool play. Opportunity maybe for the Pittsburgh Knights to throw a few audibles at them, but this Rise team has looked very, very strong. They have not dropped a single map, I don't think, this entire tournament, so they are looking as tough as ever. Keep in mind, this was the number one seed heading into this event. So far to me, they have looked like that number one seed.
That's true. Looking perfect on pool play. Didn't drop a single map. And let's go ahead and take a look at the Rise roster, though, and break them down. For those that maybe are watching for the first time or for the first time in a long time, it's Rise without franchise. DeToX replaces Fran alongside Avexys, Rushiez, and Icy. The Rise you know and love. DeToX returning to that roster, which was kind of a monumental announcement. And boy, oh boy, without old man Fran, they've been looking great. I'm just kidding. They're looking good, though, with DeToX. Talked about this roster, Ribs. You know him very well. What makes him so great?
Well, one thing I want to say is they've stayed together now for a long time. Even before Fran retired, there was always Icy going to lead this team? Is Rush going to lead this team? And even since then, they've been, their chemistry just continues to grow. And I love that, John, when a team doesn't try to take the easy way out. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. Because of that, look at that. They had the best record in Pro League. They were 5-0 at one point, or 6-0, and now they come into the championship or the first major of the season, 12-0 in maps. And we could say this is their first test, but it's not. They've already beat the Knights this weekend. So I love how they're playing. I'm a huge fan of these guys. And of course, Rushy and Icy, they've won before, but Avexys, DeToX, they have not won a championship before. They're still trying, and they've been competing for a long time, John. So it's tough to get that first win for some of these guys.
Yeah, and speaking of not winning a championship, on the flip side, we have the Pittsburgh Knights, an entire region that has not won a championship. So many second-place finishes for Dezo, for Chaoz, Monkyz, and Raver. Obviously, a few on their end. Ribs, what is it about this roster that just can't get over the hump?
We talk about the roster, we talk about the whole region, but for me, it's just when they get to the last day of the tournament, when they get to the finals sometimes, this team included, they just don't show up. And meanwhile, teams like explosive-led teams, and now more of late, Cells and Zysho and them, they just don't allow them to get over that brick wall of being the North American champions. So, they have everything that it takes. Even a player like Chaoz, who I said was a little lackluster, he showed in that last matchup that they can do it. Ryan, do you think there's a specific reason why they can't win a championship, or is it just they're just not clutch enough?
They've been so close so many times. I still do think that they are due. I do think the Latin American region is due to give us a champion, but at the end of the day, there's just been some very, very tough teams in their way, right? Some of the most legendary players like Explosive and Mental stood in the way for a very long time. Got guys like Fran stood in the way for a long time. There's just been some incredible teams at the helm. Obviously, the Kansas City Pioneers have been playing incredible as well. So I think the Latin American region is definitely due. There's some very strong teams. This Pittsburgh Knights team, man, you can never count these guys out. I don't care what iteration of the roster it is. You have players like Dezo, who are just going to always give you his all. He's always going to play great at the major. John was asking me earlier, some of my, the best LATAM players in my eyes. Raver to me is definitely one of those guys. He has just been playing out of his mind, basically all of Gears of War 5. So I'm a big fan of this team still. Like I said, I know a lot of people like to count this team out, but this is a team that I think on any given day can still beat anyone.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on the Rise side, speaking of Rise in Gears 5, the former Reciprocity team won the first two events. Obviously, that was a much different team with Kenny and Powers on it, but nonetheless, Icy's been here before, multi-champion with Optic Gaming, with Reciprocity. He knows what it takes to win. And speaking of Icy, we actually have him in our head-to-head matchup, which we'll take a look at in just a moment. I'm excited to pull that up here as we'll take a look at the stats for both Icy and Chaoz as the two head-to-head key player matchup. Ribs, tell me what you're seeing here.
Well, first off the bat, out of all the stat graphics we've seen, these are the ones that's not the most impressive when you just look at their overall ranks, 26, 32nd, 39. But we also talked about earlier when we were talking about Raver and Monkyz, amazing stats, but their team's record wasn't that great. Meanwhile, Icy's on the number one seed, so he's doing his job, he's playing his role, he's not being selfish, and that's exactly what you need to see. It's a team game. Am I right, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, when you're winning clean matches, when you're winning 3-0, there's only so many kills to go around. If you're winning in the short amount of rounds, there's only so much, damage you could do across the map. And a player like Icy has proven himself time and time again. I don't think the stats really matter for him. He has been a champion across multiple titles. The guy just knows how to win. He's one of those guys that you always want on your team. You always know what you're going to get out of him. He's one of the most fun players to play with at events. At practice time, a little different story sometimes, but come event time, there is no one more fun to be next to, no one more fun to have in your comms, hyping you up. So there's a big reason why Icy has managed to be so successful in his Gears career.
Yeah, and I also noticed how he's elevated his game ever since he stopped wearing flannel at every event. It's just crazy how that really made a huge difference. Or maybe the opposite, actually. Back in the NTR early days in Gears 3, Icy plus flannel was dominant. But jokes aside here, we know Icy's obviously a key player to keep an eye out for. We also talk about Chaoz on the flip side. Let's jump into the map picks and bans, though, and talk a little bit more about the team and the overall scope here. Ryan, map picks and bans, what are you seeing?
I'm seeing, once again, one of my favorite things to see would be a potential for a Game 5 Clocktower execution. I'll never get tired of that. I don't care how many times teams play. I will never get tired of that. But as we take a look down at this series, once again, we are seeing the Pittsburgh Knights pick that Harbor Escalation. We've been seeing them pick that quite a bit. We are seeing Tomb and Jordan. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong. Did we see Tomb in map number 2 last time these two teams played? I don't think we did.
Yeah, I actually would have to double check. I do know we saw that Harbor. I do remember that Rise 1-3-0. I do want to say that's a different map. I think we might have saw Checkout. It definitely wasn't Canal. So yeah, I think it was Checkout last time around. But either way, Knights going for Harbor again on Escalation. That's very bold. Curious to see how that one plays out. That is, like I said, Rise isn't a great Escalation team, but they are good on Escalation Harbor. That's the one Escalation map I would try not to play against Rise, but the Knights now seem to be going back to that same map.
Yeah, that's what makes this kind of a hard matchup, right? Because obviously the Knights have been leaning on Harbor quite a bit in Escalation. We see them feel very comfortable on that, but that does happen to be the one map that we think Rise probably is potentially the most comfortable on as well on that game mode. So that kind of puts in a bit of a tough spot for Knights because you don't necessarily want to avoid that map because of their strength. If you're comfortable on it, but at the same time, you're kind of playing into what they want you to pick. So definitely going to be a tough one. You're going to have to see the A game come out of the Knights.
Yeah, well, Escalation on Harbor map number 3 could be a little bit of a coin flip. It could be a deciding factor as to who wins this one. And speaking of who wins, let's jump into predictions here. Want to hear your thoughts. I'm going to kick it off with a bit of a discussion point. I have the Pittsburgh Knights upsetting the Red Hot Rise squad in this one. Reason being, well, Knights looked really, really strong against United, another North American team. And the number 2, we don't know which Icy is going to show up. That's something that's just been throughout the entirety of recent, more modern Gears Esports, Gears 4, Gears 5. A lot of times on Championship Sunday on Saturday, Icy's either so dominant, can't be stopped, or drops 1 or 2 kills. We remember that historic game in the grand final where he only dropped 1 or 2 kills in a couple of games. So I wonder which Icy's going to show up. And the fact that he's been playing Halo as well, trying to compete in Halo, I think that might be an X factor here. Meanwhile, the Pittsburgh Knights boys are all in on Gears, as we know. So that's what I got here. Ribs, you're next.
No, I'm going to go against you. And even though I went with Knights with the upset over United, I think Rise is a whole different beast. And just like I was just saying, despite Icy's lackluster stats, Rise as a unit is playing just like that. They're playing as a unit. They're playing as a team. This is exactly the type of Rise that is the most scary, is a team that they're not playing selfish. They don't care about their stats. I don't think the Knights are going to be able to match up unless they adapt from their loss yesterday. So there's always a chance that the Knights learn from their loss yesterday. But I do think Rise is going to continue their streak. They're not going to go 3-0 here. I think that the Knights will be able to pull a map or two, but I think Rise will move on to winners finals.
Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to kind of go the complete opposite of you, John. I'm actually going to obviously go with Rise. I do think Rise is going to win this matchup, but I actually think that Icy is in a very good spot right now at this tournament. I think this Rise team in general has a bit of not necessarily a swagger because they've always kind of had that, but you can kind of see that they are definitely feeling very confident in this team right now. And you mentioned things like, playing Halo on the side. Everyone's playing Halo right now. The game just came out and it's really good, right? So everyone's having fun on Halo, but I think if anything, probably a little less pressure, right? He's probably feeling a little less pressure than usual, right? When you have something else to kind of focus on and kind of have another outlet. So to me, I'm actually feeling probably better than ever right now about how Icy himself is going to play. I think this Rise team is looking good. I can see them just feeling themselves, feeling strong. Avexys is clutching up. I'm seeing clips of him all over the timeline. This Rise team, like I said, we made like a pre-show graphic about them, right? Is this their time to shine? More and more as I watch this team, it's starting to feel that way.
Interesting. So tell of two tales. Let us know in the chat as well your thoughts. Do you think Rise will clutch up? Icy's going to go big, or do you think the Pittsburgh Knights will take it? Let us know who you want to win. Vamos PK or Rise in the chat. Let us know your opinions. We'd love to hear those perspectives. And speaking of perspectives, we're also going to get ready to start this game. And as we welcome in our casters to a little $5 here, I want to get their thoughts. Colin, a little sprucing up a little bit. I like the jacket, my friend.
Hey, man, I told him earlier I was sweating pools in that sweater, dog. It was a bad choice on my half. Look, Virginia ain't that cold yet. I'll tell you that much. So I said I gotta get the silk shirt on, put a little like light jacket on, turn the fan on. It was bad. I opened up a window over there. Same window I almost cracked with the laptop throw, but it's not. It's not. Don't worry about it.
In typical Colin fashion, by the way, his secondary outfit is still a nice jacket and still coming in looking much fancier than all of us. This guy can't be stopped.
Yeah,
that's a nice the conversation of business casual.
Yo,
that was the best.
I gotta bring the dress code back, boys. I'll bring the dress code back.
Business casual to Colin means something to him different to everybody else. But meanwhile, Jacob, Colin, I want to get your predictions as I throw it over to y'all, and you guys take it away. Who do you think's going to take it, and why? And as I say that, take it away, gentlemen. Good luck with the cast.
Go on ahead, Jacob. Take it away, baby. Who you got?
I mean, this one is one of those matches where it's my heart against my brain. My heart will always lie with either Kenny Bounce as the solo North American or the entire Latin American region, and Kenny Bounce isn't here. So my heart goes for the Pittsburgh Knights, but my brain on the other side of that one just screams Rise. They're playing so good. I want to give all the respect and all around the applause in the world for the Pittsburgh Knights and that heated and massive victory against E United. But E United, I don't know if people forget, we're having their struggles against Fire and Ice, the winless wonders of the Pro League. Why would you think anything less than a close matchup against the Pittsburgh Knights? I did have E United overall, but I gotta think they're Rise. They've been looking good against the best of the best. They're #1 in the Pro League, and they're coming here with vengeance to take a championship. I'm going Rise all the way.
I couldn't not pick Rise after I saw Affinity post a movie of a boxer getting knocked completely the hell out with just one word. Next. I said, oh no. I said, oh no. I said, you got Affinity out here? You got Affinity, man?
He don't talk very often, but when he does, you better listen.
Hey, yo. Yo, I shout out one time that squad, by the way. One of my favorite squads to ever think of just saying, like, if I could ever just be able to cast over them, it'd be Affinity, Eternity, and Hudson. Just to be able to say those 3 words back to back to back all the time would have always made me happy. But right now, we're going to be saying a whole lot of Raver because it looked like he didn't slow down much, but it did take that freight train of Avexys to stop him. He's got Rushiez right there with him as well, picking up the meat shield in the middle of the map, taking over the cinema. Now Rise is going to rotate toward middle area, this middle street, trying to take care of this drop shot. Icy's going to go down as he rolls away. He and Avexys, they realize they're going to be overnumbered and overwhelmed right now.
While this is going down, and Rise just needs to know that Rushiez is capping this. That's where their extra man is at. The farther they press forward, the less help they will have on that end. And that's why you see a couple of players trying to backtrap. They do a good job of catching Raver out with the Pittsburgh Knights. They have 2 different angles. So do Rise. They have the possess that middle line of sight, some being towards the juice, but as long as PK can get in deep, they won't have to worry about that Lancer, but they're not going to get an opportunity. They get denied from the club by Avexys and Rushiez.
I can't tell you right now. Watching Avexys just continue to put on an absolute showcase every time he rolls out of spawn is fantastic to see. And now we're going to be on board with DeToX trying to help get a secondary down on the Monkyz. They've already let one player bleed out right in front. And Rise, I mean, they're basically getting every single solitary second out of that hill. And they're set up to be in the next hill. DeToX is going to be by himself inside. He's got to protect himself for as long as he humanly can. The longer he's alive here, the harder life gets on all of the Pittsburgh Knights. And you see 2 of them try to push up into the juice. Now a 3rd player rolls up in here. One player, that's going to be Avexys, outside just lancering and peppering people coming through the inside of that juice. They don't have a shock grenade to throw on those stairs, so 3 players are going to wolf pack down to the bottom. Chaoz leading the way. He's going to have Monkyz right to his right. This is going to be Icy trying to pull up on him. Now Rushiez goes in for the back gate. He gets 1 chunk, but then gets immediately downed. Icy, Avexys up top in the juice, trying to fight back through the top side of this map. Dezo will go down inside of the juice, and it looks like we're just going to switch positions here. But oh, by the way, sneaky, here comes Monkyz. And I believe Dezo back off the spawn, right back through the juice, and Monkyz, he's already killed Avexys. We're just playing stop and go here, boys.
Yeah, but throughout all this action, all this chaos, it's Rise who are accumulating the points off of these hills. They're doing a good job of stalemating it for now as well. And this is the thing, with only 30 seconds left, even though Rushiez is going to get shocked out, Nika. Okay, never mind. Rushiez is not going to get shocked out. He's going to be able to contest that hill, which is a massive win for Rise, because look on the other side of the map. They have 2 players cemented in towards the next hill, a third rotating over. So if they can catch Monkyz out before the rotation is complete, this is going to be a triple win scenario for Rise.
Rise is dominating this map a lot like E United had gotten dominated by the Pittsburgh Knights on this very same map. It's very concerning to me to see this kind of a turnabout being fair play for the side of the Knights. Rushiez is going to back away here. Unsure if he ever got marked. I believe he's trying to get this mark out. He's going to keep Raver 1v1'd up. And honest to God, Jacob, to me, that seems like almost the greatest non-strategy strategy I've ever seen in my life. Rushiez is a good 1v1 player. We know what he's capable of. But you take Raver away from Chaoz, Monkyz, and Dezo, and they ain't got an Ice Cube's chance in hell just about against Icy's, DeToX, and Avexys.
And look at Monkyz already getting melted away. Chaoz soon to follow. The sun shining bright. Chaoz doing what he can, but he's going to fall. Raver wins that 1v1 that you were talking about. Dezenide is not only staying alive, but he's buying time with points being accumulated in towards the hill. DeToX gets spotted out. Lancer towards the back. Shotgun towards the front. There goes one. They can do this quick. They can try to keep the numbers in their favor, but he has to watch out. Can't get blindsided by Avexys. The trades, they will continue in the trend of the Pittsburgh Knights as they finally stop the bleeding but continue the aggression. They could chase down a couple more members, waste that shock grenade, and bleed Rushiez dry. They're doing a good job of coming back, but they still have more to go as they're trying to stagger out the death once more. DeToX finds himself in a tough spot. He's going to drop. Chaoz is going to fall, but they can get the revive. Monkyz needs to hurry up, and he gets it just in the nick of time.
Beautiful revive there. Monkyz is also full red. He's got to try to stay alive, get his health back a little bit. The drop shot is just respawned now, so they're going to fight over that middle. They're going to get Monkyz in the drop shot area. He's going to be able to pick it up as well, and they're going to be able to station up just a little bit for this next hill to spawn out just momentarily. Avexys misrolls right into that cover instead of picking that meat shield up. Now we'll see what they can do with it, because it looks like Dezo is going to follow one teammate down here. Chaoz is going to be right in front of him. Lancer fire out. I believe that was Rushiez trying to just play defense by himself. He gets one. Rushiez still has a 1v1 here in front of him. He's going to have help from the 90 degree. Dezo is going to be full red. Shot over the top gets him down. Monkyz has still not used that drop shot, but he has help from the side. He's going to get Avexys down. And now Monkyz, he used the drop shot on Rushiez.
Ooh, that's going to be a big miss. I was just giving them props for their great power weapon usage early on, and that miss is now a clear regret as Rushiez shut down Raver yet again, and he's going to go ahead and hold on to this hill. For his team, as you can already see, IC is accumulating those points. He has the anchor, getting that down and backing off just in the nick of time because they have more position to cover if they're going to decap this hill or at least get the contestation and come through. IC is going to go ahead and throw down that shock and buy his team more time. They're already up 40, and there's more to go.
I'm going to be honest with you, Jacob. I was so surprised by Monkyz kind of throwing away that drop shot right there. I spilled a little Dr. Pepper on my white tee, man. So I got to change the dress shirt already. Had it on for about 30 minutes.
No change.
Got to change it now. I was
got to see the aftermath.
I've never in my life thought I'd see Monkyz miss a drop shot like that. Like, just take a chance. Like, he didn't wait for a teammate to be ready for Rushiez to up A around that corner, to be right up in his grill, maybe to take that fight. Now, he just threw that thing out there, and that was a mistake that cost him another 30 or 40 points in that hill. Icy's going to get solo and separated here at the top side of the pergola. Rushiez is trying to come in now to help out. Rushiez is going to get one. Rushiez has got 2 downs. Can Rushiez get a 3rd down here? Can he get another chunk? He got 2 downs. He got 1 chunk, but 3 players still alive for the Knights, taking over this pergola side of the map. It looks like Rise, though, they're going to try to set up over the middle of the map, waiting for that drop shot. Dezo's going to rotate out here next to his teammate in, I believe, Chaoz, and they are going to be trying to throw Lancer fire down to the bottom, using the verticality of this map very well. And they are just waiting for the power weapons. Now, Icy is going to look around, try to check for numbers. He's going to be intel gathering, playing his classic Baird there, just making sure nobody's sneaking up on him. Here comes DeToX trying to roll out toward that cinema, goes full red, but has to wait just a hot minute here as Chaoz is going to get down. Chaoz is going to get down by Icy.
DeToX gonna see. I think he's just gonna try to bleed him dry. Has the angle there. Drop shot from downtown. He's at least alleviated the pressure. I wish it would have connected though. That would have been big for Rise. Monkyz waiting in the wings to strike. That's gonna be a big shot fired. He trades positions with DeToX and he puts him in the blender along with Dezo. That's gonna be 3 up, 3 down, even a full squad wipe as Avexys going to be the 4th to die. PK doing a good job of climbing back into this one, and if they can have one more successful team fight to start off this next hill, they will put Rise on the back foot.
Let's see what they can do here, as it will go to this bottom left-hand side of the minimap. Mounted up here at the bandstand. Rushiez flies and gets the one-hit quitter, but a down.
Eyes on target.
Throws his flash out toward the middle. I think he picked up whatever Avexys had. I believe it was the shock. Yeah, that's why he threw that flash out toward the middle. Just he had to get it away. He had to throw it out so that he could pick up the shock when he picked up the meat shield. Remember, that's a little mechanic you can use to your benefit if you're ever in a rank match. If you don't have a nade, whoever you pick up for the meat shield, if they have one, you will have it now. Like you pick in their pocket. Icy's going to be caught here inside of the spawn. Tried to fly and die at Monkyz, but he gets chunked out. Now Monkyz is going to rotate toward the top side of the map. They're going to look for a couple different areas of entry into this hill. Rushiez has thrown the shock, but all it will do will buy a few moments before they move right back into that spot to go for the neutralization. Here comes Dezo. Dezo moves right in. That'll be the neutralization. Icy is holding down the back of the cinema area. He's going to actually throw a flash toward Monkyz and force him out of that spot. DeToX right here in the middle of the map with Raver looking at him. This is a fight over that drop shot. We're at a pretty much a standstill until one team decides to make a move. You're either going to try to push forward for the drop shot, bring teammates away from the defense of that hill, or you're going to try to overload the hill and give up the drop shot. It's one way or the other. This is just a long time to stay neutralized for that hill down in the bottom left. So nobody getting any points, just a standard 60-point lead for the side of Rise in this situation.
As soon as Avexys rotates off, PK saw that as a sign to go, but Rushiez stays. He gets the trade. Hill's going to go over to the Pittsburgh Knights, but just remember that drop shot is up, and DeToX has the advantage when it comes to positioning. Avexys can easily turn around and try to help that, but he wants to not let Pittsburgh Knights gain any points and have a chance for a comeback. But as soon as he sees that second player over, he's going to try to play it a little bit more safe, buy his team some time. Rushiez rotates to help DeToX. Not only they find that elimination, but they get the drop shot as well. Avexys trades before being taken down. So you got to think everything is looking good for Rise here, as the next rotation is going to be the first one that started us off. The top center, where you see 3 Rise members set up. You see that drop shot in the hands of number 1. So if you guys are looking at your mini-map at all, that is going to be Rushiez, who has the playmaking ability to stop Monkyz dead in his tracks. And if they want, they can go ahead and chase this down, stagger the deaths out, and keep it going in their favor.
2 more players of the Knights rounded up on the right side of the map. 1 player coming in on the flank here. It's going to be, I believe, Dezo trying to get a flank off an Icy, or Avexys is a big body shot. He trades out with him. Now Rushiez and Icy trying to win a 2v2 here inside of the cinema. That's a down. Icy will try to pick him up, gets the revive from Rushiez, and then turns, gets the big body shot there for the chunk. Now DeToX needs a little bit of help in the middle, and he gets just enough from the angle to get it down there. And a kill will start to come through Avexys, 9, 10, and 9, but he's got 14k damage. He's doing the dirty work for his team, putting out damage, making sure nobody from the Knights is staying anywhere but uncomfortable in this matchup. 45 seconds to go. That's a long time to wait this hill. Rushiez will be waiting at that cubby. You see the Pittsburgh Knights trying to move into a position here where they can keep it neutralized. Utility grenades being thrown back and forth from both teams. We can see on the x-ray where most of these members are trying to hide. Icy with a big chunk there. Tries to get revived and turn right back out, but Raver will catch one of them slipping as they roll out. Shot over the top. DeToX gets the kill, but DeToX has to push in now to go for a neutralization against Raver. It'll be a 1v1 momentarily until the second player from the Knights comes off a respawn, but Raver, he wins that one. 20 seconds left. They'll make it 214 to 160 if they bleed it out.
Yeah, and surprisingly enough, even though Raver does have 8 eliminations, he's been pretty quiet for the tournament he's been having so far. And you can see what it's doing to the team's effects. Without Raver and Monkyz performing out of their minds, their chances kind of go, I wouldn't say out the window, but they definitely do slim down. So they have to figure out a way to begin to heat up in this scenario as they scrap together the remaining scrap time. You see, Monkyz is positioned by himself. He needs to be careful here. He gets shocked off, unable to contest that hill as Rise is now one once again, gaining even more time and even making a play simultaneously for the drop shot. A late flash is going to stun Rushiez, but it's not going to stop Avexys from picking up the drop shot, and the eliminations begin to fall in way of Rise. And this is where it becomes tricky as the players of PK get separated. They get staggered out. The desperation will begin to sink in as Dezo tries to go for a play. He at least gets the trade in his way, but the hill and the points begin and continue to fall in favor of Rise as map number 1, they're all heated up.
Without a doubt, they are on fire. They've got a couple of defenses here to go. I'm not sure. I can't see. There we go. 40 seconds left. So at worst, it's 280. This is going to be one of those situations where if they bleed this thing dry, they're 10 to 20 points away. Drop shot comes flying in over the top. Avexys will shut down Dezo and Monkyz. And now 2 more players in the mid lane of the map. It'll look like Raver and Chaoz will rotate out. They realize what's happening to them, and it looks like Raver and Chaoz and the rest of the Pittsburgh Knights have decided that it's a dead hill. They need to move on over to the top side of the map. They need to make sure that they can win this next initial so that they can try not to give up the win right here.
Systematically getting picked apart right now, but they're doing a good job of coming back, digging deep. They get shocked off. That's also going to allow them to regenerate some health and go for another angle. Icy's just slow to react. Avexys gets one, but he immediately gets shut down. This is the hope for PK, but the time for all perfection has gone out the window. It's going to be up to Rise here. A final push. They found the pick they need, and they take out Raver yet again. Like I said, he's not having the best game of his life here. In fact, he's been a little quiet, and Pittsburgh Knights absolutely need him to step it up here in the final moments of the match as they begin to siege this hill. Monkyz is getting angled out. He gets tossed. Rushiez is going to drop. The trades continue, but PK lose Chaos. The advantage falls in favor of Rise. DeToX goes for a shot, but he doesn't get it before Dezo is able to take out one. Icy is doing what he can. Raver once again with the pressure against him. He has to make a play.
Raver is stuck outside, and Avexys gets the call. As soon as he spawns across the map, he realizes that he has a chance to kind of flank out. He's got an angle here. Avexys going through the middle of the map now. He might chase out the flank here. He might chase out the flank, but players from PK have to jump the cover. They have to try to hop and drop into the hill to stop the hill from gathering up points. 1 second away. They need both cleanups. They get them. They sweep them away, and right now, Rise is looking hotter than the goddamn neutron star that threatens all of our lives every couple 100 years when it flies by. Boy, they're a comet. They are flying by the rest of the competition, PR. They are burning them up.
Rise did a fantastic job of either being able to shut down Raver altogether or at least neutralize him in many positions. And you were the one who kind of pointed it out very, very early on. It's just unfortunate the Pittsburgh Knights were unable to make those adjustments. So I got to ask you, Colin, what does Raver need to do? Is it a team thing? Is it an individual thing? Is it something he can just shake off after map number 1?
I think it's an ego thing. Raver has to put his 1v1 ego aside. When he sees that he's in a 1v1, leave. You don't need that to win this major. As good as you are in the 1v1, you staying in those 1vs leaves your teammates who don't have the same slaying capability as you in worse spots. So unless, of course, you see yourself in like a 2v1 and you're going to win it every single time like he posted on Twitter for you to watch and for the rest of the world to see, leave. Get back to your team. Go back to what was winning you these matches against the team like United, where you're fighting as a unit. You're fighting together. You're getting help from your teammates, or you're helping your teammates win these matchups. Whereas right there were so many times where Monkyz and Raver just find themselves in off positions where somebody's either keeping their attention, lancering them, keeping them tagged up so they have to just kind of sit down in a cover. They don't have anywhere to run, nowhere to hide. That's the blueprint. I talked about it earlier. The blueprint to beat United on Vascar was to put down a long shot and try to make them play the map with a power weapon rather than just out-rotate you the whole time. The blueprint to beat the Pittsburgh Knights right now seems to be make Ravers and Monkyz play away from their teammates.
Seems like a good plan, like I said. However, you can do it to neutralize those two players, specifically Raver, with the tournament he's having so far. You can get it done, and Rise begins to expose that blueprint, just like you said. So when we go into map number 2 on Tomb, Raver has been known to be a massive impact on that map, playing towards the top side, towards that cubby, that sniper, whether he uses the flash grenade or the shock. Do you have any tips for the Pittsburgh Knights to go ahead ahead and propel Raver, or do you think Rise has everything that they have planned in their playbook ready for any tricks up their sleeve?
The tip I would have for the Pittsburgh Knights is they've got to be able to bust up some of the help that all of the players on Rise are giving each other. I want to give you a quick shout out on the stat meter from Avexys in that map 1. Avexys was not your MVP from map 1, but just think about this. He had 14 kills. He had 14 assists. He was at least at fault for 28 people on Pittsburgh Knights not being a part of that control map at some time or another, and 20k damage. I believe he had about 3k more than the next highest person on his team. You have to figure out where Avexys is playing. He is the heart and soul of this team right now. If you've watched him throughout this entire tournament, yes, Icy's popping off. Yes, DeToX is popping off. Yes, Rushiez is doing his job and popping off. But without a doubt, Avexys is the literal soul of this squad. If you'd have to throw him off the cliff to get the Soul Stone from Thanos, it would have to be him on Rise to get you that Soul Stone back. Also,
there's always somebody going off a cliff.
I'm sorry. Look, I'm all shaken up right now. I spilled my Dr. Pepper on my shirt, man. All right, that's why I'm hunched over. That's why I'm leaned into the camera right now, because I got
So I got to ask you, so would you say then for the Pittsburgh Knights, a simple game plan as I wait for the before and after pictures of Colin before the series started and after the series ends, but how Rise has been able to take Raver out of certain fights? Have they been able to take Monkyz out of certain fights? Would you say to kind of put things a little bit more simple? I know it's never as simple as this, but they need to figure out a way to take Avexys out of that fight, solo him out on Tomb. And how would you think they could do that? Avexys plays a center position on the map. He does control the troops. If he has enough damage onto Raver, he's going to trust DeToX to go. Do you think there's any way to do that, or do you think it's strats they need to do or brute force?
I would say more brute force. They're going to have to push Avexys. They're going to have to get him off his mark, get him away from his troops, get him away from the intel that he's able to give him, the damage he's able to give him. This is one of those situations where if they fight against each other in the middle and it's all stacked up and Avexys can tag people up, Icy can tag people up, and they're fighting over the long shot, which I don't think we're going to see a lot of that happen. I think Rise has a couple more strats. I mean, at the end of the day, when you've got a big brain like Affinity behind you, you're probably going to have more execution strats than Carter's got liver pills, my man. He's been playing execution his whole goddamn life. I'll tell you that goddamn much. So I think that we're going to see, if round 1, they try to push Avexys away from the middle, they try to get him off of his pillar, off his post. Okay. I really believe that there is a chance for us to see Rise go, all right, we'll play Torque. All right, we'll play up to nades. All right, we'll do this. All right, we'll overload. And just see how you deal with each of those scenarios. That's what the Knights are about to have to face.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some signs of that already in an earlier matchup of Rise. They're not afraid to extend down low, get Rushiez that torque bow, and they're not afraid to go up top, use that extra angle, mix with some frag grenades. So I gotta agree with it. I gotta think for the Pittsburgh Knights, not only brute force, but they need to brute force in almost that same way. It cannot be the same clear-cut, dry strategy. They're gonna have to throw some tricks, whether it's Raver getting aggressive up top towards Snipe, or them pinpointing and getting aggressive on Icy or Avexys in towards the middle. They need to figure out a way to continuously stagger out the players of Rise.
Wow. It looks like already we got a 2-man push over here for the torque bow. DK trying to throw a wrench into the system already. They didn't play over the long shot, and Rise did not see it coming. So Rise didn't overwhelm the long shot early in this one. Rushiez is trying to stay alive as long as he can against Dezo. He's going to go down. 4v3 situation now. Rise looking to pick up some of this damage, some of these kills. Icy doesn't get the kill. He gets the full spread on Dezo as he gets revived, but Avexys and DeToX. A great twosome to ever have to deal with.
Slow walking. Ooh, right hand advantage. Oh, just reacts a little bit too slow. Chaoz takes advantage. DeToX is spotted out. This is the only hope he has to start his clutch opportunity, and that immediately gets shut down the moment he chose to go down that hallway against Monkyz. It was Chaos or nothing, and he got nothing. Round number 1. Going to the Pittsburgh Knights. This could be a big turnaround because this is exactly what we saw in their earlier matchup against EU United. A close battle in game number 1, even though it wasn't so close here, but a big comeback victory in that execution map that started it all.
Out into the middle now. This time it doesn't look like we're seeing any trick strats. It's going to be a 1-2-1. Both squads. DeToX will be mounted up here waiting for anybody to push back up against him. Excuse me, long shot still on the ground. We're going to be looking for anybody to start to push, try to give up their position. DeToX will throw his flash. Raver backs up, stays away from that stun lock. Now they're going to be able to wait for multiple players. Dezo with the torque, tries to get that shot across. Not going to be able to get that one. He's going to get tagged up just a little bit. And Dezo, he's going to move toward the top side of the map. He's going to be looking for a possible flank on anybody, trying to find an angle here. The more they mark players out, the better it's going to be for Dezo. Dezo revving the torque yet again, shoots one back down toward the torque boat. Won't be able to find it.
It's just crazy right now because Pittsburgh Knights, they won that first round, right? And they're the ones running strategies. They played down low towards torque bow. They let it be led by Dezo grabbing his hands. Yet again, another round, and Rise is seemingly not taking advantage of that. I know there's a shock being thrown, but you need to figure out a way to use your numbers to push forward, because it doesn't even seem like they're getting too much positioning towards the top side of the map either. So it's just like they're on the back foot. They don't have sniper. They're allowing PK to make those moves, and Raver does it again. Finds that mismatch against DeToX. Free angle towards the top. Icy gets picked off easy, and it's like shooting fish in a barrel. Another nade being dished out, but it bounces off the foot and he kills himself. Raver with the Pele kick, he kicks it right back at him to get the grenade frag onto Avexys and leaves Rushiez by himself. Oh my god, I've never seen nothing like it.
Thank God I wasn't trying to take another sip of my drink. I'd have more stains on my shirt than I already do.
Oh my god.
Rushiez, what are you honestly planning on doing here? You trying to stat pad? There we go. Now, just die, brother. At that time, it's over, baby. You gotta let that one go. Hey, that's good leg strength, all right? Wait a minute. What character is he playing? What character is Raver playing? He's playing Mac. Yeah, delivery Mac. He's a big, tall, lanky boy. He could kick. He's got some. He's a little wiry.
Where's Mac from?
I think his accent is Irish. I know he's from Sarah.
They love the good old football over there in Ireland. I gotta say that.
Like, I know his accent. Like, I know they're on Sarah, and Ireland's not a place on Sarah, but I mean, his accent, I would assume. Look, shout out one time. I'm gonna give a call out in our chat. I'm gonna have some confirmation. Either Toby Campbell's got to tell me, is Mac Irish or Bleach for Brains? Because I think she said she has a Scottish accent. I think Scots are close to Ireland, so she should be able to tell us if it's Scottish or Irish. But I think it's Irish.
There he is right there. Foot strength.
Delivery driver Mac as well. I mean, my man has been running packages, so yeah, he's got to have the leg strength. He's got to.
He delivered the grenade right back. That was
hey.
that was a good. I'm just waiting. I'm just kind of waiting for it to pop up on my second monitor because I might be hyping up something that maybe never happen. But it did look like it bounced off his foot. He kicked it right back as he rolled the other direction. That's just picture perfect. I gotta ask you, Colin, from what you've seen so far, we like PK's odds in this one.
They're doing pretty well. Pretty stacked up here in this execution to try to tie it up 1-1. Curious if Rise is going to make any changes going forward here, if they're going to start throwing some strats out at Pittsburgh Knights, because the Knights right now, I mean, just doing a fantastic job of pushing forward the momentum, really, the idea, the meta of this map number 2, and that's why they're up 2-0 right now. Icy is indeed back there. We can see him at the bottom of the screen, so all 4 players are back into this one. We will be rolling back out in round number 3 here momentarily. Let's see if we see any adjustments come out of the boys from Rise, or if they're going to go standard and just try to keep winning rounds against the Knights.
You see the switch up of strategy already. The Pittsburgh Knights playing down low yet again. But instead of getting Dezo the torque bow, they're sending him on the long flank around. Doesn't seem like anybody has sniffed it just yet. They catch DeToX slipping. The Pittsburgh Knights, they need to solidify this elimination. They scared me for a second, but it does come through. Raver now has a chance to pick up that sniper guarded by Dezo. Rise sees this as the only opportunity to go. The mismatch on this side of the map, and Monkyz gets 2. They are heating up, Colin. The hat trick is in. Monkyz is alive. 3 in a row for PK.
3 in a row, and the Knights don't slow it down. They are going to keep rolling right along here. Also, we have confirmation from Bleach for Brains. Mac is Scottish.
Seem disappointed in you.
Look,
Watch me
hey,
work. You might learn
last time I tried to do geography, I made some mistakes, all right? I just did it.
Dezo back down low. Dezo back down low, guarded by Chaoz. They get the sniper again. I like this coming through, and he connects. He connects with Rushiez. That's big for Dezo and the rest of the Pittsburgh Knights. They're bringing back the old meta. They're not just bum rushing in towards the middle with that shock grenade. I don't know if Rise is planned for this. One player's going to take all the damage. They're trying to bait and switch, and Dezo connects back-to-back torque bows. Icy is down. He's looking for another one. Head hunting like Chaoz in the open seas. They find Avexys, and they eventually find DeToX. 3 up, 3 down, 4 in a row. PK is smooth sailing to a tie game.
Knights are doing fantastic on execution, which, I mean, right now, if they win it, I believe it might be the first map drop for Rise this entire tournament, which would also lead me to believe that Rise probably wants to win this in 4 maps. I don't know if you want to go to that Clocktower execution if you get 6-0'd already. In this map number 2, you can see the Knights mounting up here toward the middle of the map. They've actually separated 2-2. They haven't sent anybody to look over where the forces of Rise are rotating. Rise goes for a little bit of an overload to the bottom side of the map. Dezo is coming down to the bottom here, looking over toward that torque bow. Shock grenade is out. It's going to trap 2 players in by the torque. Monkyz will get stunned out. Somebody, I believe, hopped over the cover and is trying to pursue. And it was Avexys. Avexys in hot pursuit. He's going to go down. Here comes Rushiez. They find 2. They're going to be tagged up, Icy and Rushiez, right here on this cubby, trying to find a shot on to Dezo in this situation. Dezo hits a pellet or 2 through the fence line.
But if Raver could have just won that 1v1 on the other side of the map, Dezo stays alive. It's an extended 2v2 because he was doing absolutely everything he could, but Rise eventually shuts him down and scores 1 on the board. And this is the thing. They switched up the strategy. They said, hey, PK, you're afraid to fight us in the center? All right, we'll bring the fight to you down low.
Let's see here with round number 6 coming out onto the board. We already saw a couple of different options from the Knights. We finally saw a different option from Rise, and they come away with a victory. Rise this time 2-1-1, going back to a little bit of a standard strat for them. Fighting over this torque bow, flashes out. Dezo takes the right hand, gets a little bit of a chunk right there. Now Icy gets big body shotted out by Dezo. 3 shots and a dead. Now Ice has been broken. 4-3 on the map right now. Knights leading, going for this shot on a Rushiez. Now 4-2, 4-1. This is going to be a 5-1 in the round count. Knights 1 round away from tying this bad boy up 1-1.
This is looking like almost deja vu. I would say almost, because the United was up 4-1. This time around, PK is just dominating the execution, building up that momentum that they hope to bring into map number 3 on Harvard. Another map where, if heated up, Raver and Monkyz can continue to get loose, along with the help of Chaoz and Dezo. They have a commanding lead into this one. Already in the mini-map, it's telling. Pittsburgh Knights throwing another trick strategy out. They have Dezo on the long flank. DeToX might see it coming. He's sneaking back just in the nick of time not to get caught out. He's now taking the 1v1, and he loses it. First blood to the Knights.
Icy is going to have that torque. He's going to be looking through the middle of the map now, trying to rev it up, trying to find somebody to pick off here. Already with 1 player down, it's a 4v3. Icy's going to need to try to tie this thing up. Raver with long shot in hand. Another mark out onto Icy at the bottom of the map. Icy trying to throw the bolt through those bushes. Doesn't find anything that way. Raver's going to take up position here. Top left side of the tomb. I believe he's trying to maybe look for somebody going up toward those stairwell, trying to catch somebody trying to go for that top angle. Icy has switched out over to the snub, back to the torque. I think one of the reasons Icy can't just kind of maneuver the way he wants to is simply because they don't have the information that I think the Knights do. I think the Knights pretty much know where everybody is, but Avexys wins a big 1v1. That is a stout 1v1. Shock is going to come out to the middle of that round, and that's going to be a down for him. Icy finally rotates up top. 2 players also up here, so all 3 of them up top.
What? Did you not see that? What, the headshot with the torque bow from Icy to make this a 3v2? Icy, if you hear me out there, I need to see that from your point of view as well. I saw it from Raver. I need to see it from you, how you just took that over. Because now The advantage is theirs. They're backing down PK, but they know the hill is not up there. There's nothing up there for you but that high ground. Everybody trying to go down low. Chaoz is already scrambling. Shock grenade is up. The hill is towards the bottom middle, though. It has 10 more seconds, and Rise has all the control. They're trying to use this as an advantage. Avexys is still by himself. Teammates are trying to be the reunite that they need. That second sniper is up in the hands of Rushiez, and he connects with the headshot onto Chaoz. It's all up to Raver, and he goes down to Icy, who turned that sucker around.
I really want to know how Icy got that. Like, I don't feel like I saw it. Like, I feel like I would have lost
maybe
my
not have been on
mind.
screen, so maybe I just blew it a little bit out of proportion because he was in the background. He was a background dancer who became the star of the show.
No, like, I'm not, I feel like I would have, like,
your training.
I'd have probably thrown something. I feel like I missed an opportunity to throw something.
Thank God for the laptop. He had enough abuse.
I'll throw this cheap keyboard. You ask goalie, it probably needs to get thrown.
It does, dude. You throw that keyboard next. I agree with that one. Double answer over the top, though. Avexys taking a page out of Dezo playbook. Instead of going for the flank, though, he's trying to go for the early elimination. Dezo surviving with the sniper. Avexys has those frag grenades. Somehow Icy takes him out. Third down and out with the Lancer. It doesn't matter what weapon he has. Your head's coming clean off as Monkyz now set into desperation mode. Sees his 1v1 against Rushiez. Doesn't get enough damage before his teammate Chaoz goes down. So he's have to think of plan number C because A and B went out the window. You might as well throw C with it as Rise are slowly but surely climbing back as they claim 2 in a row.
All right, I just saw it back. I just watched it back. We did not, in fact, see the headshot. Like, we saw it on the kill feed, but we switched to Icy, like, shortly
Maybe
after.
I felt like I saw it because I knew he had the torque bow when it happened.
It was like a nanosecond after we saw it pop up in the kill feed. I had to watch it back. Like, I was listening to you, but my eyes were completely glued because I was like, there's no way I missed this. There's no shot I missed this. Like,
I just broke you for a moment.
I was gonna throw something else. Like, if I had seen it back on the replay, I'd have thrown something. You'd have just heard something crash on my side of the microphone. You'd be like, what was that? You'd be like, it was a makeup throw. I'm throwing something, but I'm throwing something.
Right now, it seems like PK just kind of throwing back right now. Giving up that
Chaoz is
position
going on
to
the flank.
PK. Oh no.
Dezo got a down. Chaoz has got a down. Now they got one more down and out to get Icy out, and that's going to be the end of the torque bow as well as Avexys. That's going to be 2 dead.
Uh-oh.
2v3 right now. Rushiez by himself at the bottom side of the map. He has to try to buy time for his teammate to maybe win a 1v, but Raver backs away from DeToX, and now it's all over but for Rushiez to die. 3v1. He's going to have enemies in his eyes. He's going to try his best to fight back. He's swinging wildly, but all he's going to find is the ground. He's going to go down. Pittsburgh Knights, they win map number 2, 6-3. They tie the series up 1-1. We will be heading into Escalation next. Who is going to take the momentum and the lead? Find out shortly after this quick commercial break, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the matchup that's got everybody talking. It's Rise. It's the Pittsburgh Knights. Pittsburgh Knights have fought back here on Tomb Execution to tie it up 1-1. And I believe that was Rise's first dropped map of the weekend. Can they ride the momentum? Can the Knights continue this monumental run? Beat United, beat Rise, continue forward, play the winner of Noble Pioneers. Can they do it, BR?
I mean, if there's history to be made, I feel like it's either going to come from the Pioneers or Latin America as a whole. Rise has some big shoes to fill. They did drop the map. They're still on their own history-making path as well. And that's just a roadblock. That's just a speed bump. There's going to be another path because if there's a will, there's a way.
Well, where there's a will, there is a way indeed. I mean, we saw it time and time again, the way that the Knights were able to just ride around that map, do their damnedest to keep Rise off of their back, keep Rise off of the kilter, man, keep them off of stability. Just like dropping that Dr. Pepper on my shirt kept me off of stability, and I folded to peer pressure. I looked in my closet. I grabbed 2 different dress shirts. I said, which one am I going to button up for the rest of this? I got the rest of this matchup. I got one more to do. What button am I going with? What would look good with that khaki blazer that I had on? And I didn't pick either of them. I picked one of our sweet Here's Esports and Astro Gaming hoodies.
I really thought you were gonna keep it on, kind of get the before and after, because even Rise makes mistakes, Colin, as they've shown losing that map right there. It's okay to make a mistake and spill some soda on your chest.
I like how you call it soda, because then there are some people that are gonna like
Sody pop.
Are people gonna get mad? I was gonna say, is somebody gonna get mad?
I'm giving a third option. Dare to be different. Sody pop. Sody.
Caffeinated sugar water. What's wrong with both of you?
That's the tastiest, dirtiest water I've ever drinking.
I'm telling you what, right now, it'll take rust off a bumper and it won't do anything for my liver, but it'll make me feel better. I'll tell you that each and every day of the week. Twice on Sunday, we come to Harbor. Escalation. Big chunks out by Rushiez here early on. Raver down. DeToX is going to have a flank there. It's going to be a 3v1, 4v1 now. Chaoz, last member alive for his squad. A little bit of help might come the way of Icy just to make sure he doesn't go down, and they can go for the triple cap domination. Dezo, first player off of spawn. And, well, I'll tell you right now, both teams will look a little bit different from how I remember them, Jacob. If you take a look, Chaoz looks a little like Rushiez. Avexys looks a little like Raver right now. I didn't know they changed up like that on you. You get a little money in your pocket, you change up on people.
I mean, it was all a part of the Rise plan, because they said this, right? After that last map, you guys are doing so good right now. We're just going to steal the momentum. And they just pretended. They pulled the strat right out from underneath them. Just like you would see Raver get aggressive. Everybody from Rise did. And they did it in perfect fashion without dropping a single player on that initial, which allowed for that extra man, and which was Rushiez to rotate back and help Icy in his 1v1 scenario. A clean cut round, which is a big bounce back from that map number 2 loss.
Flashes are out coming into the second winch fight here. Raver will have right hand. He's going to double bounce, try to go for the up A there. Won't be able to get it. Raver just trying to find a little bit more of a damaging shot here. They're going to take up that 90 degree, but it looks like Rise has once again won the 1v up top, and now they're going to have the Lancer angle down to the bottom, and oh boy, howdy, that's 4 down and dead. They're going to have a 2-0 lead, quick, fast, and in a hurry before you can blink an eye. They're going to be on the Sea Hill waiting for the respawns. They're shooting the spawn point of the Knights. They went, oh god, they came off the spawn. Okay, they didn't move.
They want more action. They want more. Hurry up and spawn so we can get some more damage on them, because they're not going to get close enough to get the kill. Rise up 2-0, a big turnaround. And this is where I know myself, I'm thinking big power weapon down. Put a sniper up top, put something in the middle. Torque bow the way Desnite has been playing. What are you thinking on the side of PK?
Right now, I think the Knights, I mean, this is one of those situations where you've lost that winch fight twice. It's not a what do you do different. It's sooner or later somebody got to get a kill, because as our main man Jordan Ribeiro, Mr. Ribs, pointed out, nobody on the Knights. Nobody has got a kill.
Ooh, they open up a donut shop after this one, and they got a full supply. Let's see if they can put themselves out of business with a big initial fight. They're going to back Rushiez off. Raver gets that positioning down by Desnite. Nobody's going to be there to clean that one up. They're forced to get the revive. First blood. Avexys clean, and Rise does it again in the blink of an eye. Everybody's taken out, even Chaoz. Another quick round by Rise. They want to quickly forget about that map number 2 and move on forward to greener pastures. A quick 3-0 lead, a stranglehold, domination, every single word you could throw at him, including mollywopping.
Can you give me a definition on that? Can I call Merriam-Webster's on what a mollywopping is?
I can give you my definition of a mollywopping.
Go on ahead. Let me have it.
Whatever the hell Rushiez is doing to PK on this initial, from the top wench being the first one in to backing out and helping Icy down low. He has Ghost Gaming Championship form written all over him.
Ghost Gaming Championship form. I'll tell you what, everybody in the chat that remembers that they didn't have to play Optic will probably say something about it here sooner rather than later to get that championship. But Lancer cross out toward the middle of the map, double down on a Dezo. One more gets him down and out, and he's going to be gone. Flank comes out from Chaoz. He gets called out. He's full red. He has to take a seat for just a moment. Icy is going to be full red as well. It looks like they're trying to get that power weapon out of the middle and try to secure it. Raver's now trying his hand at it, but I mean, Rise is just continuing to try to put him in a blender. Avexys is down. Rushiez rolls right up into their grill to get that big chunk. DeToX tries to take the cover and try to get the shot on. Won't be able to get down one. Finally, The Knights will come away with a 2-1 hill cap. And I don't see a power weapon, so I don't believe they got whatever it was.
I was like, that's okay. They're at least fighting back. They're at least showing some life out of PK. Because as soon as I seen the first couple of those members begin to drop, I was thinking, oh, damn, here we go again. Same old song and dance that I don't want to be a part of. But luckily for them, they got that 2-hill setup, and they're backtracking off of the boat because there's no reason for them to be up there. There's no hill. There's no powered weapon just yet, and they know Rise have to progress forward themselves, so they're going to try and set up a trap.
Monkyz is going to have to back up here. They're going to have 2 people on this line, waiting for anybody to push in. I like the angle from Dezo, as he's going to be able to continue to pepper up anybody that goes into that B hill. Anybody that pushes across, Rise is going to have to find a way to get some damage onto Dezo, maybe try to press a 1v1. Chaoz is playing all the way back at his home hill. So they are playing full defense here. They are going to force everybody from Rise into their grills at this point. They're going to have to play up into the hills. Dezo's going to move across that middle cover. He's going to have the angle here on Rushiez just momentarily. He's trying to put in shots, but he's full ready. He has to run back across the middle of the map again. Let's see what he can do. It looks like Dezo's just kind of stuck. He can't truly help any of his teammates. And with that retake on B, Rise is going to put themselves right back in the driver's seat. Now Rise gets to play defense onto the side of the Knights, and the Knights are caught between a rock and a hard place. They find themselves yet again in another blender. Rushiez rolls up to try to go for the finishing blow. DeToX has to come in and finish it.
Oh, look at these angles, the way Icy's is pushing in, getting that one on to Dezo, the way they continuously go back and forth. DeToX is hunting in the middle. He's going to get the sniper in his hands, already set up 2-1. They know PK have to break both of these hills if they take too long, so they're looking good. PK's only hope of winning this round is going to be a full-on wipe, so after they break this second hill on the neutral, they're going to have to continue to go forward. Monkyz gets in just in time, but Raver is going to drop on his side of the map. That's going to allow Rushiez to break free and break that neutral hill towards the backside, so it doesn't matter how successful PK is on this side of the map. They have to worry about the other one, and Colin is just laughing a big laugh. What are you laughing at there? The 4-0, the Rushiez slipping through. What is it?
I was laughing at DeToX just waiting for people to come to spots. Like, a true sign of a great hunter sometimes is not how they track their target, but if they can predict the movements of their target. One of the most beautiful things is I'll be out there in the blind just watching a buck. I'll see it come into range. I'll pull back on the bow, and I'll pick a spot in his trail. I'll have laid a trap. I'll have laid some kind of scent down. I know a tree that he's going to go and sniff, maybe sharpen his horns on. And I'll just be waiting next to that tree. And as the buck comes into sight, that's when I let the bolt go. I let that bolt go, boy, and I'll get that hit. I'll hit that little whimper. I know it go down. I said, boy, sometimes you just got to wait. You just got to be patient. And DeToX, like a true hunter, said, my prey's coming to me. I ain't got to go looking for it.
You know, if I get stuck in the woods, I know who my #1 draft pick to kind of save me and keep me alive. It's definitely going to be Colin. And hopefully PK can call you in, Colin. They definitely need some backup. Des and I trying to stay alive with that sniper, as everybody on his team just seeming to drop left and right. It's all up to him and Raver to buy some time and figure out where they can find a hole. Triple gap domination towards the backside. They have no life here. They're getting Lancered out. He can't even stop for the revive. And there you have it. 5-0. Rise strike back like the Empire.
Rise did not take no prisoners. I think that might have been probably the quickest escalation match I've seen all weekend long. DeToX giving them the cross stars. Man only needed 3 kills and 9 assists. Like, that match, yo, Raver. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, have you ever seen a blueprint before? Have you ever seen somebody just get beat up? And it was like, hey, that's how y'all beat them. You want to see how you beat it? If I, like, right now, with all the trash talk that Rise has done all Pro League long, I need their social media manager, look me in the eye, to go out on Twitter and tag United. I love them, but tag United in this and say, hey, y'all want to know how you beat Pittsburgh Knights? Right there. There you go. And then just circle that 0 on Raver's name. Just circle it.
Because they don't even have to work hard, because that's just an outline. They just got to trace it.
I'm telling you, it's right there for the take. I'm giving you engagements right now. I'm free of charge.
It's horrible, because after all that noise Raver was making in that last matchup, Con, I just gotta say, just listen right now. Listen, are you listening? Do you hear that?
It's like crickets.
Yeah, exactly. There's no noise being made by Raver right now. He just got completely shut down. He got some kills in that first map. He got some eliminations in map number 2, but there's no Raver-like vibe being eluded from this PK squad. They're just flat. There's no hype, and this was what I was scared of. After a big victory against United, did they run out of gas? Did they play their whole hand? Is it now time for their inconsistencies to set in?
No, but I think Rise has something that E United was not able to pull off, and that's the simple fact that I believe Rise is able to put two Supreme Slayers in the grill of Raver. A lot of the times E United had to have Raver matched up against Powers. You just it's like, you know, it's like classic basketball style. You got to find out who the best player on the court is and then put your best defender on him. Back in the day when he first came into the league and he was having a chance to win championships, I know this is forever ago and a lot of people might not even remember this, but when the Cleveland Cavaliers, when LeBron first made it to the finals against the San Antonio Spurs, they put Andrew Bowen on him. Somebody goes, who's Andrew Bowen? He's one of the best defenders in league history. Long, he's quick, he was able to D up LeBron. That's what they basically just did to Raver. They said Raver can kill anybody on the map, so we got to put Powers on him. But you take Powers away, it's not like you have a Timmy D, but it's not like you had, you know, Manu Ginobili out there to help you score buckets in that thing and Tony Parker out there. No, you didn't have all that. You had Demise and TJ struggling, whereas Rise said, "Oh, you got Raver? Don't worry, we ain't gonna 1v1 you no more, Raver. We ain't gonna put just one dude on you. You're gonna have to deal with two people every time."
So what you're telling me in short, for those people that might not know the old basketball, the more recent times, are you saying Raver's looking like LeBron in the fourth quarter? Is that what you're telling me right now?
Raver, the way he played against the United, like last night, we got to see like primetime Kevin Durant Powers. Today, we saw like Steph Curry Raver because the man was just hitting shots. Man was going absolutely nuts against the United, and there was nothing the United had to do against it.
Next name, I'm waiting for it.
What just happened with Rise was like they went up against the Bucks and DeToX, Avexys, they were all 5 of them were just Giannis. They were just 5. There were 4 Giannis's out there.
That's horrible. That's not something you
Look,
want to
shout
go
out one
against.
time. I'm not going to try to say his last
honestly,
name. I'll let John do that. Let Fallout do that because they're both Greek. He could say it. I can't.
I'm not even going to try it. I can barely speak English.
I think it's Antetokounmpo. I think that's what it is.
Wait till after this match. Fallout, you better write it down.
Fallout.
You better give him some tips on how to say it. And somebody better give the Pittsburgh Knights some tips how to come back into this matchup. I will say, at least now they can go back to the roots of that execution style of play, going quick, getting fast. But the one thing they won't have on their side in this matchup is being able to throw the different strategies that they did on Tomb.
I mean, you know what they're not going to have on their side? They got to go back to control. Like, Rise with Like, I'm sorry. I'm trying to. I didn't want to say. I did everything
to not say the word or the game mode.
I'm trying to find hope.
I'm trying to see it's ritual. Oh no!
It's like, have you seen what Rise been doing to people on Control this weekend?
Ritual in general. That's CQC. That's screaming for Avexys to get in your face. That's screaming for Rushiez to be in your spawn. So I'm just gonna go and say it. You're down 2-1. Raver. Forget all these jokes. Just go ahead and throw it out because I believe Raver can do it. Honestly, I'm going to go ahead and say it, Colin. We're going map number 5, and Raver is going to have a monster of a game here.
You down bad right now, like you've been buying drinks for somebody that already came to the club with somebody else, and you actually been buying the person they came with drinks. You know what I'm saying? Like, you thought you was getting somebody along.
No, Raver is going to lead the biggest comeback in Gears history. Maybe not the biggest because it's not finals. There's not a lot on the line other than your winners bracket life. But he's going to lead a big comeback. Colin, I don't care. I don't care what you say.
All right,
I'm going to say it again 3 times a charm. I'm going to wish it into existence. I'm going to believe bigger than VVV himself. Raver's coming back.
Well, here we go. Going into Ritual map number 4. Official audio partner Gears Esports is still Astro. They're the best sound in the business, baby. Don't you ever forget it. Rolling out of spawn in map number 4, Raver and the boys on the side of the cog. Rise coming out on the side of the swarm. Lancer fire out early in this one. Utilities coming through. Smokes will cloud up the judgment of anybody trying to rotate to the back side of the altar. Here comes Raver. Shots across. Going for those back shoulder shots. Not going to be able to find anybody just yet, but there's the big down in the chunk. On to DeToX, and that is 2 dead, maybe even 3. Now 4 dead. All 4 players dead for Rise off the initial Monkyz. Comes away with that torque bow, and they will come away with the initial point lead.
Buena, PK. Great start. Now they have the power weapons. They have the angles. Now they need to get this information, figure out where these players are going to attack from. Chaoz and Monkyz on one side of the map. They spotted out 2. Hopefully Dezo and I can spot out the other ones, and they do. They get that first down onto Rushiez. Frag grenade is going to get the elimination onto Chaoz. It's not looking so good for PK as the dust settles, but I will say Raver staying alive on that side of the map was huge. He also picks up a double kill. 4-0, hot start for Raver.
Beautiful start. This is what they needed out of him to be able to get this comeback going and try to make it to a map number 5. See what they can do here in this situation as they are continuing to find these kills. They've already taken over where that next hill is going to spawn up. Rise is going to have to fight back into this.
Enemy spotted.
Just making sure that nobody comes on the flank here. And it looks like Rise is going to get the last few points on that hill to force it to spawn out. Smoke is going to come out, but Monkyz is going to go for the quick shot with the torque after the active. He's going to go down. People are going to come in for the revive quickly. Avexys has the flank. Monkyz, he's going to be standing back up. There it is. There's the active torque bow for the kill. Dezo, he'll get cleaned up, though. They're going to get trades back and forth. The kill feed going red then blue. A lot of fighting going on. There's the pickup on the down player. Monkyz hits an absolute shot right there. And now he's got to worry about Rushiez right in front of him. It looks like we're going to have close spawns for both teams. People are going to be coming back into this fight already quickly. Looks like they're going to roll straight out of here. They're going to get those wins once again. The Knights come away with back-to-back hill stands. 15 seconds left on the torque bow, and both teams are going to send one player over there. Avexys will hit that first shot, tries to bait the double bounce, but gets taken out by Chaoz. And now we will see what they can do. Is that torque bow will be taken over by the Knights once again, and they will have the area of effect they need to if they want to start rotating over to the side of that next hill.
That was a big opportunity for Rushiez to stay alive. The rest of the team wolfpacking right behind him, but he has to watch out for the dual angles. Monkyz and Chaoz reunite to take out Rushiez, but Chaoz falls shortly after. Monkyz tries to turn around, but just a little too late. Raver spotted out. Everybody's trying to make this rotation. A little bit too late for the Pittsburgh Knights, but it does look good for Rise as they continuously are finding these players out of position on rotation. The downs are continuing to pour in. No eliminations just yet, but Dezo and I will fall. DeToX has a couple of these players angled out. Raver is done and dusted. Almost goes back to back, but Monkyz survives all of that chaos. His teammate is going to fall, though. No pun intended, as they continue to get chased. Icy knows that his hands are full. He has to reposition. His life is now under siege. He tries to get into a position where his teammates can help him, and this is going to look good for a moment, but everybody seems to change positioning as soon as they get that down onto Icy. They have that big picture, the hill, the point total, the big goal in mind.
Inside of the hill, Rise will start getting some points back. Only about 14 down after some incredible plays early on. But you see Avexys, he finds one. He's at the top of the stairwell. Looks like the Knights are trying to rotate over for a possible retake of the close respawn. They're already in the hill bottom side. Rise is playing from outside of the hill back in. They throw another flash out here, trying to get a stun. Avexys is right by a teammate, DeToX. They're trying to get damage here on multiple players from the Knights. They go for one wrap shot's not going to be able to get it. Avexys, though, right up into the grill of one, gets Chaoz. And now you'll see Rise back in the hill, but the Knights will have the close respawn. Icy's right here, hits a little bit of a body shot. His teammate pokes his head out. That's going to be Rushiez just trying to get the next damage on. Now pulls Lancer. They're going to continue to put out damage, trying to keep players from the Knights off balance and off key here. Hiding behind the pillar now. All four players of the Knights mounted up directly in front of him, and it looks like one player from Rise is playing all the way back here, and they're giving up a lot of the spacing and a lot of time back over to the Knights in this round.
Yep. Hopefully this doesn't hurt them in the end, but I will say after that slow start on that initial hill number 1, 43-5, Rise has done a good job of chopping down that lead little by little, and it's still the early portions of the game, so anything is definitely possible. It's only about a 36-point lead for PK in this one. Nice double kill from Rushiez. Unfortunately, one of them is going to be on his teammate. Dezo falls. He has Raver not only spotted out, but damaged up. He's just waiting for his teammates, and he doesn't even need it. Raver tries to make a play, feeling desperate. Rushiez gets that elimination. Repositions with Icy, who just picked up those new frag grenades. So they have Torpo, they have frags, and they have 3 players set up on the hill. It's looking good for Rise's comeback opportunity.
Rise here already on the hill, 25 points away. The Knights are going to move in here for the decap in just a moment. First frag grenade comes out, doesn't find anybody. Torpo goes out. There's a trade. DeToX, Rushiez still inside of the hill, fighting against Chaoz, as well as, I believe, Dezo. There's the back A from Rushiez to get one. Monkyz will have to rotate out now. Monkyz and Raver, bottom side of the hill, keeping it neutralized. Rushiez now has the angle. Dezo trying to keep that flank out, trying to keep the Lancer out so nobody can come out of the hill to chase out. Maybe go for some downs. See what they can do. Avexys, he's going to push back to the backside of the map. Rushiez goes for another reaction shot, but is not going to be able to get this. Avexys will go down as well. Great retake by the Knights. As much time as they gave up over to Rise in this hill, they can take another 30-second lead if they bleed this hill dry. By the way, Raver, he's definitely not getting D'd up the way he was last time. He's 10-3 and 11 right now with 8K damage to his name.
Please. I know Deluxe Radamus was a thing for a while, but move on over, buddy. I'll tell you at dinner later. I'm here to take that throne. I said Raver was going to have a big comeback in this one, and he's having a big start. He just needs to be able to close it out with the rest of his squad as he continues to pick up more eliminations, getting crossed in the flank. Back, the flank is coming through as well. He gets trapped out, and that is big because the hill is about to rotate on over towards this next, and that's where you see a lot of the players are funneling their numbers on over. Avexys taking that Torpo over as well. Rushiez hiding towards the backside. Chaoz doesn't know he's there, and it's going to cost him his life, but a quick turnaround opportunity. Both players full red, and Rushiez will survive to hold that back spawn.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I really thought you censored yourself right there. I heard for a second he's getting crossed in the blank, and I was like, are we playing match? I was like, are we playing match game? I'm gonna go with butt. I'm gonna say he's getting crossed in the butt. Because that's what I thought you were. I thought you were
I'm gonna have to rewatch. I don't even know anymore. You got me shook. You got me shook.
My man Jacob hit him with the sensor. He hit him with the beep. I tell you what. Let's see what happens here. Though, as Avexys takes back over the hill with the rest of Rise. They are now about to officially take their first real lead of this map. Number 4 flash is going to go out. Avexys is going to push in here and try to get a damaging shot on the Monkyz in that cubby corner. Here comes the rotational utilities thrown back at them. Knights will take over the top side of that hill. Just getting back A after back A on multiple players from Rise right there. Last player is going to be DeToX. He's going to be 3v1'd. Only 15 seconds to go in Rise. They are on the opposite side of the map right now. They are waiting for the next hill to spawn. They are finding a little bit of a groove here, but this match is very close. It is oh so tight, and we are going to see this thing as a knife's edge on a lightning bolt's edge. I'm in love with the cross I just saw, by the way. My God, put lipstick on it. Let me take it to dinner. I'll buy it a steak.
Rushiez deep in spawn. He has one player full red, unable to finish that one off to DeToX to get the trade before he goes down. Everybody trying to rotate on over. Just 1 point separating these two teams. It shows how close Colin was talking about this match actually is. You see, one player is going to go ahead and try to cement themselves. They block the spawn as well, split up into 2 duos. This is the opportunity from Rise. If they want to attack one side of the map, they need to do it as a team.
Inside of the hill now, gathering up points. 50 seconds left to go on this hill. Avexys with the torque bow will find one pick. Now it's a 4v3. Rise can kind of push up, try to find anybody else that they might be able to take care of. Raver is playing to the backside of the hill. Avexys will drop that torque just to his right, but not even get any splash damage right there. Looks like Avexys is actually going to rotate into the spawn. He's going to have this active. Hits another one as he rolls out. Another big pick by Avexys. Icy will go down. Dezo had the flank onto him. They're going to get a quick revive off. 2 players playing from the front side of the hill. 2 players inside of the hill. Avexys. Wow. Avexys, ladies and gentlemen. He got 4 out of the 5 he needed. He cleans up that one as well, and he gets the revive. 1 more player to worry about. That's going to be Chaoz, and he's going to go down to the 3v1. Transferring power and control over that hill to Rise. Well, how much time will you stay there? A lot of fighting going on for just a few single solitary moments before we rotate back over to the altar.
And we're all tied up back to the original hill, basically first to 130. That's 2 big hills if one team takes full control. Who the hell knows if this one does go the distance and continues, goes first to 300, as it does look like the positioning goes over to Rise early on, so they're going to break that tide. And once again, the lead will change hands. You see the rib position from Chaoz. He's going to be right behind Raver, throwing that utility to try to push past this hill. Nobody dropping just yet, but DeToX catches one out with that frag. And luckily, it was just one. Everybody moving out just in the nick of time, but Raver continues his domination as he finds one, opening the door for Dezo and Monkyz each to get a pair of their own, and they now have taken control away from Rise and the lead as well. And once again, this is the 600th time the lead changes hands.
Feels that way, especially with the way this match has been going. Pittsburgh Knights waiting in the wings here. They've got one person waiting there, Chaoz, for anybody to pass by him. The mark on Avexys comes through. Chaoz will roll to the left here. It looks like Rise might be saying, not necessarily dead hill, but, you know, we'll come in from a couple of different angles, but we're going to rotate 2 players over toward that top side of the map, try to get positioning over that next hill with 25 seconds to go. It looks like, though, the uncomfortable fact for the Knights is that Rise has the spawn, so now Rise has to be able to get shots on.
Not looking good. Rise is coming back. They get one down. They're beginning to pick these players off. Look, these Monkyz would be detrimental. That's the torque mode player. Ooh, better to send than Rushiez to crush some dreams, but he gets taken down by Raver yet again. Monkyz finds one with the help of Dezo. PK doing a good job. I'm not going to say that's going to be a bait, but that's what a bait would look like as they funnel the players of Rise in. Now Avexys is forced to try to make a play. He gets shut down. Rushiez finds the frags. I would try to save them here and use them for a team effort, but if he sees a chaotic moment to use them in, I would be okay with that as well, as it does look like they're going to go with the first of 2 choices. Back up, wait for reinforcements, and play the team game, which I think is solid.
Monkyz is looking across the middle of the map here with torque out. He's got 2 bolts left. Plenty of time on this hill to really put Rise in what would be considered in the grave, taking it to a map 5. First nade will come out. It's going to go deep, so Dezo has to go to the right now. They're going to push him forward and to the right. Monkyz looks like he might have rotated out with that bow. Rushiez is down. They try to go for the quick pick here. I heard one bolt go out. It misses. See what they'd be able to do here. Rushiez just looking for anybody to be able to put some damage back onto. Monkyz is down. Lancer fire by Icy. Continuing to keep those players peppered up. Raver playing to the back side of the map. Plenty of time left on this hill to even just catch up, get close to that town again. At what point do you believe he was going to be able to move out of this? You see, Icy will take care of Chaoz. Monkyz will misroll. Raver will go down. That's a big couple of kills to secure, I think, maybe another power weapon and the rotation over to the next hill, but one player's playing here. Dezo might go for the double chunk here. He gets a big body shot, but Icy answers back. Icy shuts him down.
It was a magnificent attempt from Dezo. Unfortunate for him. Those aren't the times you want to make a play like that, especially this late in the game. Now Monkyz is getting angled out. He's going to be forced back again. This is almost deja vu of that previous heal. Trapped back into spawn, unable to find the answer. Dezo gets picked off. Raver opens up the window of opportunity to tie it up. Rushiez dropping is going to be big, but connects. Avexys connects with that torque bow onto Raver. Rushiez stays alive, and Rise will hold on to this hill.
Rise on top of the hill now. They still have not taken the lead. Dezo just at that cubby corner is keeping it neutralized. This is a beautiful job by him. And that kill is even better. Now we're going to see 3 players from the side of the Knights mount up here. Avexys realizes that he's about to get pushed out of that spawn, and they're going to have to break out of here. Rise will not get the good spawn because of it now. Avexys tries to get 1 kill, can't get either of them. 49 seconds to go. Monkyz is going to get called out here. Let's see how much time is left on the hill. Plenty of time for them to come back into this. Looks like 2:58 will be where things shut down for now. The longer they stay here, the better for Rise's chance, but we also know that that next hill, that next rotation is a big one. It's a mid-neutral hill, and it's a very hard hill to keep control over for any real length of time. Avexys finally gets a kill there, but he doesn't have an ability to kind of stay here. He's getting crossed out from that spawn point. He's going to go down. They could very easily, I think, bleed this one out to up to the 290 point.
Yeah, 290. They could stretch it maybe 293 if they want to gather every single second. And I think that is a daring possibility, especially since they have that top control. If they want to bleed it out, they would get possession of the torque bow, but they're going to leave it a few seconds early. Allow for Chaoz to pick up that torque bow and then gather the information for him to be able to put it to use. That torque bow is now going to switch hands. You see Chaoz holding back towards the back line. There's actually no torque bow being picked up just yet. Chaoz cannot get caught slipping, but Avexys, it looks like he might. He catches him in the stick of the eye. The down comes through. Chaoz finds pick number 1. Colin, there's only 13 seconds remaining, and Dezo has the torque bow.
Dezo looking across the middle of the map here. He's trying to find somebody to pick. He's going to get the pick there on the Rushiez. Beautiful shot there. That's going to open up things for the rest of the Pittsburgh Knights to fly in, go for neutralizations, try to get players from Rise to make a mistake. A little hop and now a drop there. Another big kill. Now they're in the hill. 10 seconds to go. Avexys and Icy are caught out here. Rushiez right up on the cubby corner. Can't push up into this hill. Gets a body shot, but doesn't get the neutralization. Got to get into the hill here. Rushiez goes for a double bounce and a kill. Won't make it. 1 second to go. Knights answer back yet again. Jacob MVP, our boy, howdy. We got ourselves a tie ball game. Raver goes absolutely nutty, buddy. 29 and 19 with 21k damage. And they will take us to a map 5 Clocktower. Shout out one time the OG, one of the goats of them all, Ryan Fools. We're gonna see it for you, baby. Who's gonna take it? Find out after this. Back over to the side of Rise and Knights. It's all tied up 2-2. We go into a map 5 Clocktower. Jacob, I heard you during the break breaking that map down to yourself. You want to let the folks in at home know what you were saying.
I would just say, PK did a massive job, specifically Raver, after flat performances to start off the series. Coming back, and I'm not going to say I predicted it to toot my own horn, but bing bong, that's what my horn sounds like. But 43-5, that's how that game started. From there, slowly but surely, Rise did a good job of climbing back into this one. It was hill number 6. They were knotted up after hill number 6 at 170 apiece. That's when that PK team kind of took over. Whether if it was slaying, whether if it was overall just locking down positions, they went ahead and locked down the final 4 out of 5 hills and outscored Rise to take the ending portions of the game.
Pittsburgh Knights, they get exactly what they need to get that win and get the job done. But now we go to execution, Jacob. 1 life to live. Already we've seen one execution map between the Knights and Rise where they beat them down. They beat them senseless on Tomb. Do we see a repeat performance? Have we bought a ticket to the same action movie? Or will we see a sequel where somebody different comes through for the victory?
I mean, I told you before this series started, I'm torn between my head and my heart right now. My heart would love nothing more than to see a PK come back for the ages in back-to-back series. But my brain wants to see Rise shut this one out, continue on with their dominance they started in the beginning of the split, and have a chance to win the first championship for this Rise squad. But PK is fighting for not only the first championship for themselves, but for an entire region. And you know how I feel about Clocktower. I love this map with everything that I got, and I think this is going to be the perfect map for both of these teams to lay everything on the line and crown themselves victorious.
Well, this is going to be a good map indeed to lay everything on the line, because we know that this map plays very different for a lot of teams. Some teams like that frag grenade rotation, go down to the bottom, get that flank out, get that hunting season going. Other teams, they play right up in your face, host secondary, they double push up onto that long shot, they try to take the power weapon out of your hands.
Okay.
I'm really curious. Now, this is just me thinking out loud here. Do we have any chance of anybody going crazy like Powers did last night? Give me a percent chance on that. 20%? 10%?
Who is playing in this game right now? Raver has woken up. He's come back with a vengeance.
My man
and
said
Raver,
woken up.
with a spark, has ignited something in PK. You see the pressure being alleviated from Monkyz. You see Dezo even picking up double kills, which makes Chaos' job as the IGL that much easier. But he's not the only one. That's not the only squad going to go off. This is going to be World War III all over again. And I say again because did you see that major against the Pioneers that went down to the wire? That was another version of World War III. You have Icy, who is hungry to win this championship. You have Rushiez, who's playing absolutely out of his mind, and he doesn't mind sacrificing himself for the greater good of the team. And you have the pairing of Avexys and DeToX. These guys, I'm not going to say they grew up together, but heck, they grew up in Gears of War together, and they want nothing more than to win that championship for them, each other. The players for the next one, I would say they'd give each other a high five if this was LAN, but this is passion at its finest here in this game number 5.
It is going to be passion-filled, and everybody at home is going to be in for a treat no matter who comes away with this victory right now. But look, I bet you there's a lot of sweaty palms out there for a lot of big-time fans of both of these squads because this is a big-time matchup. At the end of the day, you get teams like Rise and the Knights, other side of the bracket, you get a Pioneers versus Noble. These two matchups, both of them, I mean, they sound like grand finals matchups, and here we are sitting in semis type deal. Like, we are in the weeds of it, baby. We're in the thick of it, all right? We right there in the middle of the trenches trying to find a victor, and the only way to do that is to play possibly a best of 11 here on Clocktower. Rolling out of spawn, it'll be Rise on your Coalition of Ordered Government side. Pittsburgh Knights on the Swarm side. Early in this one, Rushiez has gone down low for the nades. They know that the call's there. They're going to go for the double pick there onto the long shot. Try to get Dezo out, but the double frag in from Rushiez finds the kills, and now it's 4v2. Round 1, Raver and Monkyz last alive for the squad. Monkyz might get called out by Rushiez right down at the bottom. Raver's definitely been called out. They know where he is right now. Rushiez with one more nade. I think I would like to see Rushiez maybe use a nade to bait. I'd like to see him try to bait somebody.
He doesn't have to do anything. He just knows he doesn't have to do anything at all. Use it defensively here to back off Monkyz, who's trying to make a play in the 1v1 scenario. Now with Raver going down, he has no choice but to go forward, but Rushiez stops him dead in his tracks. And that's what I'm saying. Rushiez is playing so good, from that slaying powerhouse style of play to right there being the anchor, being someone they can count on to not lose their life in that situation and get 3 eliminations at that.
Really, really unbelievably impressed with how quick Rushiez was able to get that nade up top. One of the things that I think, I'm trying to think of the way to describe this. I don't see many people make that throw. Let me put it that way. That's got to be something that's practiced. For him to be able to hit that throw as they roll back with the long shot. This time they're going to send Chaoz forward. And it looks like Rushiez actually threw the nades on the Rise side of the map because everybody from the Knights pushed forward in a 4v3. They're trying to find damage and downs right now, but everybody's getting tagged up. DeToX first down for his squad. Now they're going to start finding some revives, maybe some cleanups. 3 people down for the Pittsburgh Knights. Chaoz was last man standing. Dezo down, meat shielded out, neck snapped. 2 rounds in a row for Rise.
Even though Rushiez didn't get an elimination with that frag, you saw what it did to the push of the Pittsburgh Knights. It funneled them towards the host spot, around towards the steps, allowing for those remaining members on the back pillar to survive and dish out that damage. And then he followed up 7-0 in 1. I wouldn't say he has ice in his veins, but that would just be a play on Icy's name.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it, whatever, man. You take that. You got to take what you can get. Rushiez is down inside of the frag grenades, though, and it looks like they've sent somebody else down there as well. Up top, we don't have an overload from Rise just yet because it was a 2-2 split completely on the map. See what they can do here is, looks like Avexys tries to slide in to get 1 kill. DeToX is going to try to get 1, gets a back A out, rolls into that cubby, gets big body shotted out. Now Icy will be all by himself. A second kill there for DeToX would have been absolutely massive, as it would have made it 2 separate 1v1s on the map. And we now have the first round on the board for the Knights.
You can't do that if you're PK. You can't go down 3-0 against this Rise squad in a game number 5. And I love the way they switched up that strategy. They said whether Rushiez was getting eliminations or not, he was being a huge impact and a huge detriment to our success. We have to challenge him down low. And this is where I'm looking at this round. You challenge him down low, you see Rise. They're doing a great job. I know you pointed out Affinity with all the strats in the world, and it shows here with the grid switch up. Rushiez gets stunned right before getting elimination, bouncing around, staying alive. Icy comes up big. He gets 2. Rushiez leads the charge to get a a third, and the last man standing is going to be Monkyz. He's funneled down low. He's actually trapped in towards the grenades, and Rise is just swarming him left and right to get this elimination and go up 3-1. And dare do I say, Colin, how deep does PK need to dig in order to come back?
They're going to have to dig deep into their bag of tricks, because one of the things that Knights don't do, though, they don't give up ever. They will, I mean, it doesn't matter if they're down 5-0, 5-1, 5-2, 5, whatever it might be. They gonna keep fighting against you. They gonna give you your best shot every single round. They're coming out of spawn this time. They're gonna go up to the top side of the map. Rushiez, once again, very quickly inside of those frag grenades, is going to get tagged up. He has to be worried about getting crossed out from 2 different areas. Dezo trying to push across. He goes inside of the prison. Not going to be tagged up yet. The frag grenade goes off again! Yo, Rushiez has got, what, 5 kills? Mans has got 5 kills with nades this map.
I'm about to say he has 10. He's 10-1-3. He's taking over, and he will not be denied. And I'm looking at Woo. I'm waiting for Woo in the chat. He's better get those championship cards ready for Rise, because they are on a championship run, cruising for another victory, 4-1. I don't know what the answer is. They went down low. They try to contest Rushiez. It worked for a moment. They go right back to up top. This seems to be their bread and butter for Rise, funneling and distracting the team of PK and not allowing them to get into a rhythm.
Coming back alpha to spawn here. See what they can do in this next one. Is they're going to be coming up to the top side. Knights have to find a way to answer back here. They got to find somebody that they can get shots on, and it looks like a Rushiez yet again will be the player to get picked on down low. Icy comes up big and tries to trade out at least one, so it's a 3v3 on the map right now. 2v1 up top. Icy is in a 2v1 by himself down low, to speak of the facts, and I believe Icy's going to leave out. He's going to try to get out anyway. He's not going to be able to get out quick enough. DeToX will pick up the long shot. Avexys is chasing Chaoz into the spawn, and I mean, he's baited into that fight, really, and now they baited DeToX into the spawn right behind him.
Back to back A's from Chaoz, just banishing these players off the map. And that's how I wouldn't say stop the momentum, but you definitely have to figure out a way to slow it down. Raver going down low, challenging Rushiez for those frag grenades. And this is where I would think maybe Rise is going to send 4 up top, try to get PK to forget about that down low possibility. So win or lose this round, I think Rise, after this one, is going to go back down to the low side of the map, but they're not going to take a break from it. They want them to get stopped yet again. It goes down amount of damage onto Rushiez to start this round off. A 2v2, shots being fired from the top side of the map as well. Rise does have a little bit of an advantage as players continue to distract. A couple of eliminations going back and forth as well. Dezonide's gonna fall. Rise have the advantage, but they lose it with Rushiez going down.
Monkyz just waiting for somebody to try to hit that corner. This will be Chaoz behind him, trying to come up and help out, try to find an angle across. 2 players dead for each team, 2v2 now. Chaoz with a long shot, looking for either player to poke their head, try to get a shot, body shot maybe. He's actually going to rotate back up top. I believe that they know he's up top now, and Icy has 1 frag grenade. The shot goes into the top. He doesn't get the shot over. Now the body shot comes through. He's going to pull the Nasher, pull the snub, tries to get the finishing blow. Won't be able to get that one. Nades are going to come out. Another revive on Avexys means that 1 more down for Avexys. He goes out. Avexys has to back up in that situation, try to get away from the body shot, but Chaoz plays it perfect. The defense is great. It's there. It's 4-3. Knights are fighting back.
This is just led by the passion of the fans. I feel like if this event was in Mexico City, you could see these players standing up. You can see and feel the crowd feeling them, but they have to do what they can here. 2 rounds in a row. That's definitely a start, but this is where Rise are going to begin to dig deep into their bag of tricks. Looking at the overhead map for a moment, they're sending most of their players up top. Icy, the solo player down low. Raver's going to have those frag grenades. He's trying to take a page out of Rushiez's playbook. He has the mark, but is it going to connect with an elimination? Yes, it is. Rushiez gets a taste of his own medicine.
Now DeToX with the body shot on the down player, trying to get the finishing blow. We're going to see a 3v4 situation. Somebody has to answer back here for Rise. They got to get a kill somewhere, whether it be in a 1v1 or be in that big team fight. DeToX will rotate to the front side of this banister. He's going to try to look over the top, trying to catch somebody over the edge, but won't be able to find it. Everybody from Rise is up top. They are having to fight into the the teeth really of the defense. You see the Knights actually spreading all the way out. Knights are going to pick up both of those utility grenades. They're going to have 2 new flashes to bring into this fight. That is dangerous, but it is beautiful to see them take that kind of time to reset, get new utilities, and know that they can try to get stuns off coming into the next fight.
At least 3 flashes. They have a frag grenade in the hands of Raver. Sniper's going to connect. Monkyz going to go down. Avexys on the other side of the map. The revives are going to be in, and so is that headshot. We are now knotted up at 3v3. Dezo trying to make a play on the flank, but he puts himself in a trap. He's going to go down. The numbers shift in favor of Rise, and that begins to set in. Raver knows he has to try to make a play. He's going to go down, though. It's on the shoulders of Chaoz, and that round run is going to end for the Pittsburgh Knights, and series points going to set in for Rise.
No beat down, but DeToX let him think about that for just a moment. You notice that? As you notice, the DeToX just kind of stood over him. I mean, he just stood over him. He gave him the stare. He was like, what you doing down there, man? You know, that ain't going to help you being on all fours like that, dog.
People, let's move out.
Gotta get up and shoot back.
PK, though, you gotta think the chat. Si se puede. Yes, we can. Give them your energy. Raver going down low. The players up top, they know it. You can see it in your mini map. They're towards the back line. Dezo has to be careful onto that host spot. He could become a target. See DeToX getting out alive with that sniper. Only 1 frag grenade is going to be wasted, and everybody trying to slow this game down. They're playing more into strategy than just straight up aggression.
Hey, yo, my man DeToX has got the top 1,000, I believe, long shot right there, by the way, the Obsidian. He got the Obsidian long shot. So my man was grinding. My man was
grinding. Through the gear if he gets that one.
Hey, he doing whatever he wants at this point. All right, they on map and match point here, 5-3. Knights have got to find a pick. Icy, he's played all the way out toward the truck and is officially. Oh, it's the Lancer. I was like, what the hell be flashing at his feet, man? Am I seeing something? Have I lost it finally? If I had that, is the vein finally popped in my forehead? Is that what happened? Tries to thread that needle. God. Can't thread it. Can't thread it. Can't thread it right there. But we're going to see what can happen here as DeToX. He's going to push back up to that pillar, looking for somebody to kind of poke their head out here. I believe they're set up. They're set up for the overtime hill.
Yeah, let's say I got to ask you a question. Where is the overtime hill?
Should be bottom behind the car right now. Maybe no, it should be middle. The way that they've posted up, I think it's middle between the 2 trucks. It's round number 9. Round number 9. So top car, middle, top car, middle, top car. It's middle. It's between the trucks.
Interesting enough, Rise is doing a good job of battling back for at least a portion of that high ground. So that way, if it does come down to it, they have the host spot as well. And DeToX, he could be lethal in this spot. Headshots could pop. He gets the body shot onto Chaoz. They know the threat is there. Almost gets a second body shot, which would lead to a down. He misses yet another one. The pressure is on. DeToX gets the sniper. Colin is right 100% of the time when it comes to these hills, but Raver gets picked off. Icy gets picked off as well. Everybody being funneled down. DeToX is going to pick up one. A player enters the hill, but only for so long, but Chaoz goes down. 2v1 situation. Dezo isn't close enough, and Rise take the round. They take the map, and they advance to your winners finals.
That was so intense, Jacob. It was so picture perfect for both fans. The Knights got to see the guts, the glory, the passion that drives them boys into every fight. They didn't have quit. They didn't have give up in their bloodstream at any given moment. Whereas Rise, they did what they do best, what they do better than the rest, and that is readjust. They adapt. They move on. Every single time, it seemed like the Knights started to put pressure on them. Rise shut them right down.
I'm going to go ahead and say it, Colin. I'm calling shenanigans. I am calling shenanigans. From what I've seen from Rise, today alone, I was going to say this weekend, but from what I've seen from Rise today alone, I call malarkey on them not skirting. I call it shenanigans. You guys are lying. You guys pulled the wool over everybody's eyes, and the bait has been taken. There is no way you're running strategy after strategy, round after round, switch up after switch up without practice. I don't believe it one bit. Where are the second accounts?
My man's looking for Smurfs out here now.
Yep.
Yeah, I want you to know you probably ran into him when you was playing Control one night. You said, "Let me load this up." Then you ran into a four snack. You were like, "I ran into a 4 snack of Sniper Bob 75s." and they just beat me. They beat me so bad. Look, ladies and gentlemen, if you really want this match to get broken down like nobody else can do it, well, there's only 3 humans on the planet that can do that, and they're going to be led by the oh-so-beautiful and gorgeous, the multi-talented, the man himself, John Fallout Kevalukos. Take it away, boys!
Thank you so much, gentlemen. And what a call that was from y'all. A crazy game, 5 games forced from the Pittsburgh Knights, but ultimately Rise clutches up, but without a fight, certainly from the Pittsburgh Knights. They put on an absolute show, Ryan.
Yeah, that was an incredible match. Much different than what we saw for the first time these two teams played. The Pittsburgh Knights are clearly playing at a much higher level today than they were yesterday. But those boys on Rise, I told you, man, coming into this event, they were looking very, very strong. They had a very, very nice Game 5 victory. You know, I wanted to see that Game 5 Clocktower. I'm glad they finally delivered it. But nonetheless, man, great series all around.
Yeah, that Game 5 Clocktower was a treat. It was fun to watch for sure. The 4v3 loss from the Pittsburgh Knights ultimately is really what hurt them, but we'll of course get there in a moment. Highlights on display right now in case you're just tuning in. Welcome to the semifinal matchup where we saw Rise defeat the Pittsburgh Knights in game number 5. Ribs, give me a quick summary. Talk me through these highlights.
Yeah, so we saw that first map, just a few highlights. It was Control, Rise, one of the best Control teams in the game, win that, but then answer back here on Tomb. And I want to say they played each other on Tomb yesterday, and this is a completely different meta we saw. A lot of adaptation came out from the Knights. Works out in their favor. They kept Rise off balance. They were able to win that Tomb. We come onto Harbor, as we said, Rise so very, very strong on this map. They were able to secure the 3-0 yesterday on this map versus the Knights. This time around, they win it again. And just some great plays overall. On to Control, must win for Knights. They take out the Rise on Ritual Control, and I want to say this is probably the weakest Control map for Rise, but this was a very close one, came down to the wire, and then that set us up with the fated map number 5. Winner goes on to winners finals, loser goes down to the top 6 on the loser side, and it really was Rushiez' show. I love that they gave Affinity a little bit of a shout out, saying all these strategies that Rise was pulling out was maybe on the play call of Affinity side or Avexys side, but really just an amazing matchup all in all. Just a star-studded matchup. I'm really proud of the Rise boys, but the Knights should be happy with this performance.
Yeah, absolutely. And correct me if I'm wrong, with the Harbor stopping that was a 5-0 in favor of Rise was actually Pittsburgh Knights' pick, right, Ryan?
Yeah, it certainly was, and we're not actually used to seeing Rise dominate the Escalation that bad. Usually Escalation's kind of their worst game mode, so very, very good sign if you are a fan of this Rise team to see them looking so tough on Escalation, especially on the map pick of their opponent. I kind of told you, John, this is one of those maps when it came to Escalation that the Knights have been leaning on it a lot this tournament, but it happens to be the map that feels like Rise's best Escalation map, at least from the outside, so it's definitely a tough map pick. Rise looked very, very strong on it, but nonetheless, man, these are two powerhouse teams, man. Every time Rise, PK, guys like that get at it, these guys have been doing this for a very, very long time. They know how to play when it matters the most. That was just one hell of a match.
Yeah, it was one hell of a match indeed. They fought tooth and nail, and honestly, that Clocktower could have easily been a 4-4 scenario if we would have seen them win that 3v4 fight. Unfortunately, not able to clutch their numbers advantage were the Pittsburgh Knights, and Rise was able to clutch that by the hands of DeToX, holding high ground. Obviously, they had the advantage in terms of the hill, but Pittsburgh Knights intentionally decided to run a low strategy despite knowing that the stalemate hill was going to be on high side. That's kind of the price that you pay sometimes for running a strat on Clocktower, depending on where the stalemate hill is going to be placed. But in the end, it was Rise that won 3-2. And like Ryan said, Escalation, arguably their worst game mode, and they're looking that good in Escalation. I mean, Rise is looking very strong right now. Ribs, potentially Icy's last event. Who knows if it actually is, as he's made some statements about switching over to Halo. But what a way to go out if Rise could end up on top. Do you think they have the potential to beat the Noble versus KCP winners?
It's one of those scenarios where it's a matchup. Like if Noble comes out on top over KCP, I kind of like Rise over Noble, but I hate to say it, I think KCP has Rise's number, so it's kind of like a triangle. I think Noble does have a better chance of beating KCP. Obviously, that's a matchup we're going to see very soon, but one of those things, once again, Rise. They made it to winners finals. They've done everything they needed to do. It wasn't in a 3-0 fashion this time around, but they're sitting in the winners finals, undefeated so far this weekend. They've done their job. Now they just need to wait till tomorrow morning, see who they're going to play. And until then, have a good dinner, have a good sleep. It's the best feeling in the world when you're in one of these big tournaments and you know that you've gotten to winners finals and you know, without missing a step.
Yeah, that's right. Could also be a dangerous feeling. I've been there before, where you kind of let go of the gas pedal a little bit, but something tells me these guys have quite a bit of experience. They won't let that happen. Let's take a look at the bracket, though, and update y'all in case you're just tuning in and watching and missed the action today. What a day it has been. United upset arguably by the Pittsburgh Knights 3-1. And then the Knights go on to play against Rise in the winners semifinals and just barely lose to Rise in that one. Meanwhile, we have Noble versus the Kansas City Pioneers, who's handled business on both sides. 3-1 wins for both of them in the winners round 2 matchups against Rebel and against Team Queso respectively. And of course, let's take a look at the losers bracket here in a moment and show you how things are progressing. E United versus Oxygen. That's the matchup we're certainly looking forward to, Ryan.
Yeah, we certainly are, but hold on a second, guys. Take a look at the top left corner of your screen. Fire and Ice knocking Team Queso out of the tournament. We've seen Fire and Ice get so close so many times throughout this tournament, losing on so many game 5s. And here they go, right when their backs are against the wall the most. They take out Team Queso and move on in losers bracket. That's a big win for this group of young guys who are just kind of fresh to the pro scene. We've seen their strengths. We've seen the potential. Looks like they're starting to live it through a little bit.
Insane. Finally, the Fire Knights breaks through, gets that needed win, which they hadn't gotten all Pro League, literally winless throughout the entire Pro League. But this Fire Knights squad, we saw them in the winners bracket. I mean, they have a lot of talent. They could have potentially won their matchup in winners. Instead, they get knocked down to losers, and they'll have to play against Rebel now. It'll be a tough matchup and one that I'm certainly looking forward to. The winner of that will play against the Knights. And of course, the theme continues. LATAM on the top side of the losers bracket. We got E United Oxygen, basically a lot of North American teams on the bottom side of that bracket. So that'll make for a marquee losers semifinals matchup before we go to the losers finals. What a losers bracket that is. And I got to ask you, of those two matchups, Ribs, Fire and Ice versus Rebel, E United versus Oxygen, who do you think has the upper hand? What are your predictions?
So United Oxygen, I think that one is going to be closer than you might think. Rebel over Fire and Ice, I want to give that to Rebel. FNI winning is a big win, but they're still yet to beat a pro team, a fellow pro team. We said Team Queso is a pro level team, but their 2 wins this weekend, being Fire and Ice, are technically versus 2 challenger teams. They've come close, map 5 against the other pro teams. So that would be the bigger upset. But I think United Oxygen has upset written all over it in the form of Oxygen maybe winning a map 4 or 5.
Oh, baby, that's going to be a fun one. Hopefully, we'll have a chance. I'm not sure if we're going to catch that on stream or not, but nonetheless, will be a fun matchup to witness. We, of course, I think are going to have our next winners bracket matchup up next, right, Ryan? It's going to be Noble going up against the Kansas City Pioneers. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I can't wait to see that one, man. That's the matchup we've probably all been waiting for, right? Obviously, I think that a lot of people expected those 2 teams to be the top 2 seeds. Rise, of course, came in as the number 1 seed from Pro League, but the biggest kind of storyline has always been sort of the NA and the LATAM juggernauts, right? KCP representing North America and Noble representing Latin America. These 2 teams have seemingly been on some sort of a trajectory towards each other every single time they can. And here they meet a little earlier than they probably both expected. They meet in the winners semis. Of course, it is a double elimination tournament, so the winner of that doesn't go home or anything, but this is going to be very, very interesting. Normally, we'd expect to see these guys meet maybe in like a winners finals, right back into a grand finals in the same day. But no, they're going to play on Saturday.
Yeah, and Ribs, if you don't mind, not to put you in the spot by any means, walk us through kind of the history of these 2 teams and recent majors for maybe someone that's watching Gears Esports for the first time on the Xbox channel. First off, welcome to one of the most hype esports, entertaining esports out there. But Ribs, talk about the history and some of the rivalries between these teams.
So I'm going to start with KCP, just so you guys know. This is the team to beat, championship team. These are our former champions, defending champions. Ever since they picked up Zyshov, formerly known as Vanquish, they've won pretty much every major tournament we've had in Gears 5 Esports towards the later half of Season 2. This is the first event for Season 3, so maybe it'll be a new story. We talked about KCP maybe building a dynasty. Maybe it could be stopped here by Noble. And when we talk about Noble, the best, in my opinion, a lot of people's opinion, the best Latin American team in Gears Esports. If you're new to Gears Esports, you know the Latin American community is the most passionate community that supports Gears Esports. We love them for that. For that reason, we want them to see a champion crowned on their home soil. And we say Noble's the team that could do it. They've gotten second place multiple times, but they lose to the juggernauts in North America. So that's a huge rivalry. Rise, of course, a North American team in winners finals. But I know all the fans in Twitch chat, all the fans at home, they want to see that first ever Latin American champion. And that's the storyline we've been going with for a long time, but we always get disappointed.
And it's always KCP, at least as of late, that tends to run spoil to that. They took over the reins from the former United Optic Gaming squad. But really, it's been North America, the United States at least, dominating the Gears Esports championship scene. However, Gears Esports in Mexico and Latin America is next level. And hopefully one day we'll have a chance to get back to in-person events and have a chance to, especially given everything given Omicron, everything going on right now, obviously a tough time. And our heart goes out to anyone right now that's maybe kind of quarantining or fighting through that. But nonetheless, hopefully one day we'll have a chance to get back to Mexico, get back to where the heart of Gears of War absolutely is, as we, of course, have a couple of top teams, so many top teams. Almost every top team now seems to be kind of intermingling. It's one thing we saw, Ryan, by lifting the region lock, we allowed teams to mix up. And the first thing obviously was Summons going over and going south of the border, playing alongside the Pittsburgh Knights. But since then, we've had quite the shakeup. What other teams have a little bit of a mix-up?
Yeah, I mean, this Noble team obviously has Toady, right? Toady was traditionally a player from the NA region that is playing alongside a Latin American team, and you see how strong they've been, right? So it's one thing that was very fun about lifting the region lock and combining the Pro League is to get to see sort of these teams come together. And just in general, man, I mean, for the longest time in Gears 4 especially, the Latin American region was basically just kind of the old, Splice, who's now PK, that team, and then sort of everyone else, right? But in Gears 5, we've really seen just the Latin American region in general just come alive and start representing a lot of the Pro League, right? A lot of the top teams now have been coming out of that region. They're so much stronger now. There's just so much talent that continues to show itself. We're talking about guys like Fire and Ice, right? Every single event, we find ourselves discovering a new set of talent in the region. So for me, they call me LATAM Fools for a reason. I'm a big fan of the LATAM region over there. I love the players, love the energy, love the fans. So it's been a true treat to kind of just see that entire region just kind of grow and blossom.
Absolutely has been. And of course, we are having some quick discussion, buying some time here. But the good news is we got a little treat for y'all. We got an interview with two great personalities in Gears of War. One of really the new face for the last couple of years of Gears of War. It's Avexys joined alongside Blaze. Take it away, gents.
Hey, appreciate that, John. I got Avexys in the building. He's coming off that hot win on the Pittsburgh Knights. As you can see him, sweating a little bit. Afro out here shining. They came off a tough series. Now, Jay, the one thing is that I want to ask you first, okay, is that we saw you guys play the Knights yesterday, and it was an absolute stomping. And then you even move on to the day without losing a map. But you play up against them again. What was different this time from last?
They gave us a new look. As we usually play Knights, they like to be very fast-paced and ahead of the game, but that's like our game. And what they did is they really tried to slow it down and just change up their strats, try to condition us to certain things, and we had to adjust a bit from playing last time.
Yeah, and it seemed like this time around, they came into the series and they said, we're tired of losing, okay? We've had close series all weekend long. They've been to a lot of game 5, so they came with you guys. They came at you guys with a lot of confidence, but ultimately at the end of the day, you guys were able to overcome it. That last map, Rush with the frag grenades, what has he been eating lately, okay?
It's not eating, man. That man is off the G Fuel. Off the G Fuel, for real.
All right, he's been doing his thing. Hey, go get it.
but yeah, we're just hyping each other up. You guys know Rush is very good when he's off good momentum. So yeah, when he's hot, he's screaming. Same thing with Nick. When they're hot, they're hyping each other up. They're kind of unstoppable.
So it sounds like the comms have been on point and you guys have been firing off on all cylinders. But I do want to ask you this because, most of the league, me and the Caster, we've been talking about, and one of the big storylines of Rise is that we keep saying that you guys ain't been practicing much, okay? Because that's what y'all been tweeting about. But at the end of the day, you still was the first place team in the Pro League. You still started the major without dropping a map. So y'all been getting some practice in somewhere. What's the difference now between you guys of last season?
When we practice, we don't just practice everything. We work on we know what our weak spots are, and we straight just touch that over and over and over again. For example, when you're scrimming respawn, a lot of scenarios you will never see them again. So it's good to have the repetitions, and what you're doing is basically just working on your split decision making. So we all have that, just naturally from playing Gears, having a lot of experience. So this is other things that we touch on that we watch a lot of video VOD, and that's where you get all the knowledge from, to be honest.
I get you, and I could totally understand that. When it comes down to it, at the end of the day, Gears is the game all about repetition. And you guys feel like y'all have gotten a lot of repetition already. At this point, it's muscle memory, and just worry about, getting to practice on the VOD and the knowledge. So you guys have been getting some practice somewhere, even if it ain't always in scrims, because it's definitely showing in your gameplay as well. Also, on the flip end, man, you guys got some of the best fans out there. You got anything that you want to say to the fans out there in the chat? Because, we've been seeing, Smoke, Complex, Ace, all the homies out there, doing it.
Oh, definitely, man. We literally do it for them, man. We stream, they pull up. We're very connected with our fans, very involved. So they're always going to show out for us. And we're going to keep it that way, too, because it's really a Rise family over here.
Nice. Jade, man, any last minute shout outs? Any surprises that you've seen so far in the tournament? Any results that you wasn't expecting?
Easily shout out Rise to start. Easily, always gonna be shout out Rise. That's the fam, you know what I mean? But surprisingly, what I would like to say is Fire and Ice. I know like they had a very bad showing in Pro League, but they actually focused major and was playing very they're just playing good. Even though they didn't get that dub against United, or they didn't get those big W's, they had a very great showing, and they're playing a lot better than they have at all, throughout the entire split. And then also Team Queso, Sleeper is going off, as I noticed, and I didn't expect them to really pull up and play the way they did.
Yeah.
And get that first upset on Friday. That's a crazy way to start an event, first game, you beating the top team, you know what I mean? That looks
taking
good.
out some old teammates too at the end of the day, Hell, when it comes down to it, Sleeper's Mr. Consistent. He definitely is, and he has been over all these years. But as you guys can see, Avexys showing some love out there to some of the squads who came through towards the bottom end of that pool play and competed throughout the weekend. Folks, the competition for today, it is not over with yet. We still got one more winners finals coming up and 2 more series in total. So don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll have our analyst desk break everything down.